What is up, everybody? Hello, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Happy Friday, as a matter of fact. Goodness gracious, can you believe Friday? We are already on April 14th, 2023, guys, halfway through April, and we are just getting started. So, hope everyone's having a fantastic day. As always, I have also pinned the comment down here. Should anyone want to join, y'all are more than welcome to come hop in, show your face or not, come ask the questions, come get to hang out with the community, come just have some fun with us as we explore the wonderful world of HEX, PulseChain, and PulseX. So, folks, I hope everyone once again is having a fantastic day. Let's see what's going on with everyone. We got Kaisa in the house saying, "Wish I could be here. Have fun watching the replay." Thank you so much, Kaisa. Much love to all that you do, guys. Go follow Twitter. Go follow Kaisa on Twitter. Much love to Kaisa and everything he does. We'll catch the replay at 3 a.m. Weekend shift starting in 8 hours. Have a good evening. Smash those likes. Crypto Elite, thank you. My goodness, 3 a.m. Woo! What's good, John Nees? How you doing, my friend? Crypto Military Vet, Semper Fi. Too early for a drinking, CA? And never too early for a drink, my friend. Never too early for a drink, guys. In fact, I'm sipping on my nice little coffee right here, but y'all are more than welcome to cheers with me as well. Happy Friday to all you lovely, beautiful people. Mm. We got AA Ron. What's good? Sitting back enjoying the last few months of work. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We sitting back and we're gonna watch what's gonna happen in the next few months. And god damn, can you believe what we got coming here in the very, very near future? So let me see what's going on. Make some people a little wrench party up in this beach. All right. What's up? Absolutely. What's good? I'm sitting back. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Guys, of course, if any of y'all ever want to join, all you got to do is just type in the StreamYard link right there at the very top banner right here, StreamYard.com/GVQBGB5A2K. If that doesn't make any sense, just go check out the comments. I have it pinned as well. Anyone is welcome to come on, hop on, or if you don't want to hop on stream, ask your questions in the chat down below. I always read the replay as well. I always read the comments. So guys, if you got comments and you missed the live video and you want to ask some questions, leave a comment down below in the comment box, and I always make sure to reply to every single one of the lovely comments y'all people leave. So thank you to all the love y'all have as well. Yeah, absolutely. There you go. That's a StreamYard link right there to anyone who wants to join. The fuck, you live? Yes, sir, War Ants. I sure am, my friend. Shout out to War Ants as well, dude. Much love to War Ants, guys. Much love to all the HEX community, all the PulseChain community, every single one of you beautiful people who are here just to have some fun. Mo digging it. How you doing? Much love to you as well. Love the profile picture as well. Maybe that just switched up recently, but if you have switched it up recently, I'm loving it. So appreciate all the love for you as well. I'm digging the fit, ATX. Appreciate that, John Nees. Always appreciate it as well. Much love to every single one of you beautiful people. All right, here we go. I got a mic coming in today, webcam coming in tomorrow to stream with y'all. Let's go, Crypto Khalil. Let's go. Now, again, guys, y'all are more than welcome to also join. You can do it from your mobile device as well. As a matter of fact, you don't necessarily have to have a mic. While it's always good to make it a little bit easier, if you got AirPods, if you got headset, if you got anything that allows you to talk, you can join by clicking the link down in the chat box happening right now as a pinned comment. As a matter of fact, let me let me see if I can actually pin this. Let me see if I can also pin this as well into the description, just in case anyone happens to be catching the replay maybe a little bit later. So here we go. And bam, edit here, change this. Set up there, bam. Okay, and then just save changes, I assume. Do I have to save it to all of these? No, of course not. That's all good. And Twitter, cool. Save changes. The broadcast must be scheduled in the future and within 1 year. Please edit the start time. No, I'm not editing the start time. Okay. So let me see if I can do it through the studio. This is the first time actually trying to get the description changed live on stream. So that would make sense that I have to do it through the studio of YouTube. Come and join for some fun. All right. And of course, we're going to be talking a little bit as well about the I saw a little notification coming from K4K breaking down ratio trading when it came to HEX and PulseX. So I'm actually wanting to pull that up so we can get that set up as well. Where was it? Boom. If you have been, go here. All right, cool. Open Telegram. All right, so we got Pulse Theory here, and where was it? Because again, K4K came out with a nice ratio trading ability that he actually broke this down in a little bit more information. So let me see if I can find that. Please ask better questions. Oh, that is funny. That is too funny. K4K, what a classy answer on that one. Please ask better questions. Oh shoot. All right, let me see if I can actually go in and find it. Maybe if he had it posted or pinned on a different system. Price predictions, pin message, number 4, number 3. Interesting. Where was it? I know I can actually see it right here. Maybe I just got to do a little control F for it. Hey guys, wondering what's a good ratio to think about trading HEX for PLS? Here's an anchor point to consider. All right, so of course we're going to be getting that done here as well. So Crypto Khalil, yes, we look forward to chatting with you on that once again in the very near future, my friend. So feel free to hop in when that happens. Much love to every single one of you beautiful people as well. Prospector, what's up? What's up? Crypto Jake, lick and like that subscribe button. Yes, sir. Lick and like the subscribe. Got to get my ass in there ASAP. Well, come on, War Ants. Bring it, boy. Bring it. Let's go. Oh, word? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. War Ants. What's up, Carissa? How you doing, my lady? Love that. Love that. Bam, bam, bam. Absolutely. Saying hello to all the lovely folks. Gloria, you're never late. Don't even worry about that. Let's go. You showed up right when you needed to, Miss Gloria. So much love to you and all that you do. Yeah, you ain't even late, so don't even worry about it right here. So let me see if I can get this done. Share the screen, and I wonder if it's just easier to share the entire either tab. Here we go. I'll just do it that way. All right, and add. Bam. All right, cool. So as you can see, we got a K4K tweet right here talking about the ratio trading as well. I see someone in the back waiting to join in right now, so let's go. Hey guys, if you're wondering what's a good ratio to think about trading EHEX for PHEX or for PLS, here's an anchor point to consider. So he pulls up the sacrifice and he actually says there was 98,000 sacrifice with the 1.44x multiplier. Hey, what's up? What's up? I see the people in the back real quick. I'm going to be bringing you on here in just 1 minute. We got the 100. Let me just bring you on. Let me just make it sense. Guys, we got Facing Reality in the house. What's up, my friend?
How you doing, brother?
Hello. Caught you off guard. I caught you off guard.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
It's all good.
I was like, yeah, let's get it done. I'll pull you in. I'm bringing you in. All right. So right now we're just checking out the ratio trading scene right here. So right now, essentially K4K is saying that a good ratio would maybe be 1 to 2100. So essentially, for every 1 hex, you would get what, 2100 PLS? Is that what it's saying right here? So hex was 14.5 cents back then, and then you have the PLS multiplier going down to 1.1 or 1 hex to 1,834 PLS. Can you believe that? Would you think that'd be a good ratio? Let me know if y'all are even gonna mess with ratio trading in the chat. Are you messing with ratio trading at all, Facing Reality?
No. No.
Yo, keep it simple.
I've
right
said
there.
it a lot in other streams as well. The first 30 days at least, I'm gonna sit back, smoke a joint,
let's go,
get a beer, and
go.
Enjoy the ride.
Let's go. That's it right there, man. That's how you win.
Make mistakes,
dude. Yeah. You're gonna win doing that. Also, DCA in the first, freaking, 30 to 60 to 180 days, and I promise you look back happy as all can be. Do you have any DCA strategies? I don't know if I've ever heard that mentioned from you before, but what is your typical DCA type strategy that you end up looking like?
Well, I'm done DCAing, to be honest. I did my last DCA from 6 cents and did my DCA down to 1.9.
Yeah, that was such a great buy, wasn't it?
No, man, golly. I truly did not thought I would ever get that price, to be honest.
Neither did I. I joined, it was, early 2021. So I'll actually pull up, this is the chart here. So the price of HEX back then in early 2021, okay, it actually was sitting in this range of around 2 cents whenever I first started. And I got to see it run up. I got to see all the fun there. Got to see it go all the way back down as well. So
I'm pretty much only upping my average.
Right. No, and that's a great way to do it.
I got in under half a penny. So everything I buy now in HEX is only gonna up my average, but it's more than fine.
Well, it's funny too how the DCA strategy works, folks. If you DCA, you actually get to lower that average as well quite a bit. So big believer in the DCA, and that's why I think if you go DCA into PulseChain and PulseX for the first 6 months to a year, you look back at that and you're just happy as all can be.
For sure. Do we get a year in PulseChain? Do you think? Do we get the chance to? I mean, you're gonna buy into the pump.
Yep.
For sure.
Yep.
But do we get low prices for long in PLS?
What a good question. What a good question. So I think we're gonna end up seeing probably about 100x when people start kind of like, that capitulation phase starts happening and people really start being like disbelief, selling, all that good stuff, like can't go higher. And so people are going to just dump in that scenario. I don't believe that we're going to blow sacrifice price.
Hell no.
On either project, right? Like I've seen some people say it's going to go down on Pulse. I just don't see that happening. Yeah. So I think
probably the same people that said that HEX was gonna go beneath a penny again.
Yeah, exactly. People. Those are the exact same people. They're praying because again, that would be a phenomenal entry price. Like if you get that chance and you don't go in at that price, then you're crazy. Let's just say that. I would see us going down as low as maybe a 3 to 5x from sacrifice. So 3 zeros and a 5, we'll say, and I think we just that would be like the bottom. If you look at Ethereum when it first launched, it was down for the first 68 days, we'll say, and then that kind of hit the bottom, and we never looked back.
Yeah,
and now I kind of see the same thing happening where we're probably going to be first 60, 90 days we hit the bottom, and then that price never is going to be returned again. Same for HEX.
Yeah, I don't even think we're gonna dip as deep as people will think. I don't think PLS is gonna see that typical 90% drop. because only 40,000 people sacrifice for Pulse.
Okay.
How many wallets did you use for the sacrifice?
How many wallets did who use?
How many wallets did you personally use for the sacrifice phase? One wallet?
No, it was a couple. It was a couple.
Exactly. Yep. Same here. Yep. And that is pretty much everybody I heard. So it's not 40,000 people that sacked for PulseChain. It's way, way less.
Yeah, exactly. I understand what you're saying there. Yeah, we're looking, take off, we'll just say a third of what you're looking at there. So, maybe 28,000 individual sacrifice. Oh my God, that's so little if you think about it like that. Oh my gosh.
The narrative that people say, yeah, but the people that had the 2.5x multiplier, they will for sure dump. But people that got the 2.5 multiplier don't need to dump. They're already filthy rich. They don't need to dump it. They can wait for as long. I'm just not seeing the 90% dip that we used to in crypto.
So I think people get it backwards too. People don't dip. People don't the whales, the people who are in early in projects, they don't sell the projects that's brand new unless they're only in it just for the quick pump, which again, most people aren't. So they sell the coins that they've been holding for years that they're in profit in, right? Yep. If you're sitting on 1,000x profit in HEX right now, and you got 100x profit over here on PulseChain, why would you sell the one that just did 100x profit when you have 1,000x profit over here?
Exactly.
Right. And so people get that a little bit confused that I don't. And again, same with Ethereum, same with like all these tokens that have been around for a long time. Guys, people have tokens that they've been sitting on that they would sell long before they sell PulseChain and PulseX. So yeah, I don't see the massive dip coming. If it does happen, it may be a quick wick down just from like a big, because I imagine liquidity is probably going to be pretty small and thin to allow price to pump, and go even crazier, even faster. So I would see if we do see it, we may get a quick wick down, but people are going to have limit orders by then. That thing's just going to get scooped the freak up so fast. Yeah, I mean, that's a great question, though. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think if we get a 40-45% dip, that first typical dip, I think we should be lucky and jump on it. I think the demand is so high for PulseChain. It's the first layer one that has already 150 projects, and it doesn't even exist yet. I mean,
yo, say that again. 150 projects.
Yep, and it doesn't even exist yet. The demand is gonna be insane.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree completely. I see Warrants hopping in right here, so let's go ahead and make sure you all set, Warrants. Let me know. Give me a thumbs up. I imagine you're good. I'm bringing you on.
How you doing, brother?
What's up, Warrants?
What's up, guys?
What up?
How are we doing?
Yeah, man. We were almost meant to meet this weekend, and we had a
I've got a quick question for you. Do you play a video game where I know you from?
No, I don't.
No, Facing Reality, because his voice is so familiar. It's like
that could be. I've gamed a lot in my youth, and majorly I play StarCraft 2 or World of Tanks when I'm don't want to hurt my brain.
Entropia Universe, maybe?
No.
Oh. Yeah, your voice sounds like exactly like somebody I know.
Funny.
And he also smokes weed, so that was my trigger. Like, okay, this is
no
guy.
No.
Hey guys, how's y'all's weekend doing, man? What do y'all got planned for the weekend? Y'all gonna go, hop on any movies? Because guys, we just be real. We ain't seeing PulseChain launch right now, right? Like, so
typical next week, 2 more weeks. It's gonna be a never-ending.
2 more weeks. Has to be 2 weeks.
What do y'all think about mid-May? Do y'all really think he's gonna do that? Do you think that would just be the corniest shit ever if he launched it mid-May?
I don't think it's gonna be mid-May. I said it for the longest time, but recently I had to update my worldview. It's gonna be later than mid-May.
Wow, I think I heard DCC talking about June, July.
Yeah. I think July is probably the most realistic, in my opinion, now.
What do you think would delay it for that long? Because I got my ideas. I just want to hear.
Yeah, I mean,
we all have our own ideas.
I think it's a combination of. I think the primary reason is timing, and the secondary reason is that he gets the opportunity to implement more things while he gives himself more time.
Okay. I'm torn. I'm torn, man. Here's what I'll say I'm torn because it's a couple reasons why. One, I'm torn because we don't have the Highest of Stakes documentary out, and I'm just waiting on what's going on with that. Some update would be phenomenal from the team, right? We got a sponsor, we got whatever it is, right? We got picked up by the OTT. None of us want to pick them up, so let's just launch it on our own, and we'll just pay for it. Like I just want something, right? Because it leads me to wonder,
throw me a bone.
Yeah, throw me a bone, man. The Highest of Stakes. If you're listening, guys, clip this little script out. Like, give us some information, a quick update. Like, hey, we got it landed. Like, you don't have to say it's coming out anytime soon. Just say like everything's good, because it's just been ghost, man. They moved it to what, Q2? If you go to the Highest of Stakes documentary website, they moved it to Q2, I believe, for release, which would be between April to June. Yeah. So I mean, it's the chicken and egg scenario. Are we getting the Highest of Stake first? Are we getting PulseChain first? Are they waiting for each other? Like, I don't know.
I think they're waiting for PulseChain to come out because it would be the perfect end to the whole documentary where the product's finished, it's delivered, people are getting,
I would actually prefer it that way.
I think he just wants to paint the perfect chart.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so here's my with perfection. That sounds like perfection, right? My issue with perfection is that it's never going to be perfect. And that's a tough cookie, I think, for Richard Hart to swallow on this one, because his reputation depends on it being as perfect as it can possibly, like 99.9999 to infinitum. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But it's a project, and I have a tough time thinking that we're gonna see it done. So one, we're going to see the Shanghai upgrade already happen. So that's cool. They're probably going to implement that within V4, which is why I don't think we're going to see V4 until, I say, Monday. That's kind of my guess. Could be April 20th, just for the fun little 420 play or whatever the case may be. He's never really been one to do that kind of stuff, but if he does, cool. And then I would see PulseChain come shortly after, but the downside to it, like I said, completion, perfection. So I wonder if it's something that we actually have to constantly wait on, because again, perfect is never going to happen.
Correct. What I see a lot in crypto is that people always project previous cycle onto next cycle. Yet in the whole history of Bitcoin, no cycle ever repeated.
Right.
The only thing that is constant is the 4-year cycle, and how we get from point A to point B every time was different. So what do we see now? People are waiting for a black swan. Why? Because the previous cycle we had a black swan. Statistically, the chances of a black swan repeating itself 2 times over is probably the same as you winning the lottery.
Right.
So waiting for something that is not going to happen could hurt you badly.
Right. Oh my goodness. Yeah. And the black swan, you said it before. We had the global scenario pandemic and all that nonsense. And yeah, that's a once in a century scenario. Exactly. So we've had the once in a century scenario happen. And now they're talking, of course, with the global finances basically seeming to have just fallen apart. Even though, my theory is it's all a play just to introduce the CBDCs.
Correct.
Yeah.
So, and it's a plus for us probably that the economic system is falling, because we pretty much are the hedge against it. We've proven ourselves for 15 years now. Regulation is coming so that traditional finance is allowed to invest in it. I mean, it seems to be looking like a perfect storm this upcoming cycle.
Wow.
Where everything just aligns.
So you think we get it before we actually go take off on the freaking bull market, though? Because again, right now we're in accumulation phase of the crypto cycle, right?
Nah, we're already in a bull market. It's just when people say we're not in a bull market, that means that they are saying that Bitcoin is going to drop below 15,000. Do you see Bitcoin dropping below 15,000?
Not anymore.
Exactly. Nope. So we're in a bull run.
Yeah.
That is literally the definition of a bull run. No lower lows.
Right.
So people that are saying, yeah, we're still in the bear market, that is saying that Bitcoin is going to drop below 15K.
I think from my own perspective, I have friends that know I've been into Bitcoin since 2012, 13. And they're actually going now like, is this Bitcoin thing still around? Because my savings is getting less and less. I have expenditures to make. And how does this crypto thing actually work? I'm like, oh, you're way behind. I know shit. So much things have evolved, like I introduced them to HEX, I introduced them to Richard Hart. And they're like, what the hell? This is like, they're opening their eyes for the internet for the first time. I'm like, yeah, you should have joined me back then.
No, well, you try to introduce someone into Richard Hart, and they just better have their mind ready. You know what I mean? Like, because their worldview is about to be shot. Whatever thoughts they thought they knew, they're about to just get punched in the face if they ain't ready for it. So you got to have that mind ready and mind open to Because I tried sharing Richard Hart so many things.
A special shout out to Sharissa here. She's watching your stream right now. I got her interact. She's like, yeah.
Much love, much love. So we got John Neese asking right here, ideas on your strategy for holding PLSX only. Say you got a 3K sack. Should you do nothing? Stake some of it all? What are the all potential options? Thanks in advance. So let's see what y'all got to say on that.
Interesting.
I'll leave it up just to leave the question there, just so it makes sense.
I mean, there is a play in ratio trading, but you got to set yourself an ultimate number where you say, yeah, this is a ratio where I want to do it. If it doesn't meet it, don't do it. When in doubt, do nothing. That's the best strategy always.
Okay.
But you could do the ratio.
Say again, Warrants?
In the first few months, it's going to be so tricky to even touch your bags. Just see how the market plays out. Just be wise. Don't go anywhere in or all in at the day one. Richard Hart tools over and over and again.
Well, I think the question of staking some of it all is coming into a play of the single-sided staking. And I think everyone is kind of misunderstanding how that works. And my understanding of how it works is, one, it has to get voted on and actually implemented through the DAO for it to actually launch, right? And so single-sided staking won't come when PulseX first launches. So are you trying to play with liquidity pools and yield farm, or are you talking about single-sided staking would be the first question. And yeah, the second question is for sure, like, doing nothing's the easiest answer to say, right? Like, it's the hardest thing to do. It's going to be the hardest thing to do, but it's the easiest answer to say for sure, because doing nothing, you look back 2 years from now, pretend like you didn't even have it, you're good. However, I'm a fan of taking profits in a strategic way. And the way I've, taught myself is you do 5% on every double. So say you have 5% of your bag and you do it based on I do it based on tokens. I think DCC does it based on the dollar value. So I do it based on tokens, right? So 3,000 would get you, if you sacrifice, we'll just say day one, would get you roughly about 30 million. Is that right?
Yes.
Or 3 million? 30 million. Yep, 30 million tokens.
30 million, yeah.
So with the 30 million tokens, you get the double. And again, like say we start out 10x higher, right? I don't recommend you just go and pull the 20%. I'm a big fan of like 5% still at that time, okay? Because if you get a nice little profit from jump and you've 10x your money, you just take out 5%. So you just do, 1,500,000, and then you just take it, just convert it into like a stable. Right? Like, you don't have to cash out. I don't believe in cashing out, because here in the US, that's definitely a taxable event, and we aren't tax advisors. None of us are financial advisors, just to clear that up for everyone. But yeah, if you hold it on a stable when the dips do come, it's beautiful, because then you wait till it double again, and say we start out 0.001, and then it goes up to 0.002, and then 0.004, and then 0.008. Every time that doubles in price right there, you just take out 5% of the stack of coins, and then you hold, because like you said, dips are in the game. So if we still see a 40, 50, 60, maybe 90% dip, I don't see it going.
I hope so.
Right? But you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
If it happens, that's when you can redeploy some of that capital and scoop up some additional bag and actually increase your size. So that's why I do it that way.
Like this.
Yeah. No, I feel you. Yeah, exactly. You got the wallet right here. You're just like, guys, I got no money.
Shake it down.
Yeah, you're freaking pulling the money out of the couch. You know what I mean? We're freaking digging, dude. Yeah. So
money out of my ass for all I know.
Yeah. So single-sided staking isn't going to be available soon.
Yeah, single-sided staking shouldn't be available.
Okay, so that's out of the question already.
Yep.
I think liquidity providing you should never do during the early days of launch of a project.
Especially if you love the token.
Yeah, exactly. If you love the tokens, don't do it. And if you do liquidity, only do it with max 20% of your bag. Don't overdo it.
Yep. Agreed.
I would say if you do liquidity, do it to either exit the system. I think it's a better way than limit orders even. Because you can set a range and you can pull it whenever you want. So if the market is always dynamic. So if the market goes one way or the other, you still have the opportunity to maybe say 50-50 and pull out.
Okay.
You still have 50% of your bag. And so there's more flexibility, but also more risk. Limit orders is just easy and simple. It hits it or it doesn't.
Yeah, guys, if you don't understand liquidity providing, like start you can't even test it on the test net because it doesn't give you a good example of liquidity providing. Like it just doesn't. If you don't understand liquidity providing, do a small little transaction on Uniswap V2 because that's what PulseX is forking. And do a very small amount. Go do it with like, I don't know, $100, right? Just kind of learn, figure it out. So Uniswap V2 will do a full range. And I don't think people really understand that. We aren't going to be able to like narrow it down like Uniswap V3. So Uniswap V2, we get a nice little range that we get to have, and it's the full range. However, as price goes up, you end up with the coin that did worse. Okay, correct. Just to break it down and make it simple. So say, for example, PulseX is over here. Well, I guess it would be this hand. PulseX is doing this, and it's going up and to the right. You're going to be left with USDC. And eventually, that PulseX that you have will all be USDC if it goes and does a big number, especially in the very beginning. So liquidity providing, unless you're trying to exit the system and convert some of that into fiat, or not fiat, into a stable coin, that would be a play. But yeah, I don't advise anyone to try to like jump in if you don't understand that stuff. Black Swan is potential World War III.
That already began 2 years ago, so we're already in World War III.
Yeah, dude, we've been sending the war. Yeah, dude. You know what? It's funny. They never called Iraq a war, guys. Let's just realize that. Like they never called Iraq a war. It was always this nonsense, and many people lost their lives in this bullshit. But you have to like realize that same thing. Like whatever you try to put a tag on, like the shit's already happening. Every single country and every single nation is contributing somehow, some way to this battle. How is that not a world war at this point? Like
exactly.
Like what? Just because we aren't technically sending our soldiers there, like we provided all the resources.
Yeah. What does store of value do during war times throughout history?
Typically, store of value goes up, actually.
Exactly.
Yep.
And since crypto is now considered somewhat of a store of value, especially Bitcoin, that narrative is truly shifting now. So if we are in World War III, but even if it would have somewhat of a negative influence, what we think, it's actually positive, in my opinion.
Okay. I feel you. Brother. Yeah, what's up, Alan Fizzame? Much love to HOA, MJ Money. What's up, Bigfoot? All those folks, man. Much love to every single one who's in here right now. Putin calls it a special operation. Exactly. Like whatever you want to name it, dude. Whatever title you want to call it. It is what it is, right? Like people are dying. It's a war. Like fucking A. Yeah, they call Vietnam a police action. Yep, sure did. They don't want to call anything a war. Like you have to understand, putting that tag on it, it's the same thing as like why the US isn't saying recession right now.
We started ourselves the Vietnam War. It's public information now that we literally attacked our own ship.
Yep.
So we could start a war.
Yep.
Same with Iraq, same with Iran, always on the false narrative.
Yeah, I mean, same as the pipeline scenario. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. It's always a great day. What's up, Chris Crypto? Much love. Sounds like nothing for a while. Do nothing for a while after launch. Just add my bags as I can afford to do so. Correct. John East, I mean, that's like a promise. Like, dude, that's by far the hardest thing to do and by far the easiest thing to make a decision on as well. Because you're going to see your bag go and do this, and it's just going to keep going, and it's going to keep going. And then you have to have that's why HEX is so amazing, folks. Because you get to see your bag go like this, but it's all staked. And you're like, what am I going to do? Pull it out and lose half? No.
Yeah.
So you just get to see your bag keep going like this, and you're like, this is beautiful. I love HEX.
Yeah. I'll tell you the story about BNB.
Go ahead.
That I endured. Because when BNB came out, it was like way under $1. And within the first months, it didn't really got over $2. And back then on Binance, it was cheaper to do everything in BNB because you didn't have any fees. And sometimes the ratio was just better.
Okay.
So what did you do? You had all your BNB and you traded into stupid alts that never saw the day of light anymore. So what did you do? You got out of my BNB, and I had a shit ton of BNB, like 5 figures, well in the high 5 figures BNB, but it wasn't really worth much.
Right.
And then I went in all the alts and all the so-called ICOs and all that nonsense. And then a year and a half later, most of the altcoins died, don't even exist anymore. Not even the ticker is it's alive anymore. It's and then BNB goes to what, $700?
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't do
BNB
the
went
same
ham.
thing with PLS. When PulseChain is coming out, there will be a shit ton of shiny objects where we think we need to trade our Pulse for the new shiny object. Don't do it. 2 years from now, you're gonna regret every decision that you made. Just hold your key asset.
If I may add to that, especially the copies that don't want to be copied over, because there's going to be some big ass projects that don't want to be copied over. So if you ape in on day one, you're going to be fucked.
Yeah.
So imagine, I'll pull up the chart and show you exactly what BNB did too. Just so you know, I don't want to hurt the feelings, and I know it pains you, I'm sure, every time you see it, no matter what. Like, but this is the chart for BNB right here, folks. So you got to understand, at one point in time, this is definitely below $1. It definitely was below $1, but again, we're just gonna go from the dollar range. And if you had done nothing, like this is on a weekly right here, by the way. So if you had literally done nothing for 378 days, essentially 1 year, you'd be up almost, 3x the money. But again, this is just BNB. And then if you just continued waiting, look at this. It ends up going up 420 or 42,000%, which is again almost a 425x on that one.
That's where the money is, baby.
And that's within the span of 4 years, folks.
Yep.
3.5 years. So like it's gonna seem crazy. We're gonna see dips like this come. We're gonna see this come, and it's gonna drop down, and it's gonna maybe even dip. This dipped 83% at one point in time, was from the local high down, and then it just skyrocketed up. So that, like, don't get shaken out. There's gonna be FUD happening like crazy. HEX was the same way when it first launched. People were saying that it was down 98%, and it's basically a rug pull like every other coin and all that nonsense. And then we've seen what HEX went and did from there. So guys, like, don't be shaken out by the FUD. That's what I'm saying. Doing nothing is the hardest thing and the easiest thing to do at the same time. Because if you just do nothing and you look back and you're like, wow, I turned that. I'm just going to use your number, for example, $3,000 times 425x. You turn that into $1.25 million or 1.27 million for doing nothing. Doing nothing. Like,
what? And that is conservative for PulseX in a cycle. I mean, realistically.
I've been thinking of a strategy where you actually make separate wallets and you write down the private keys and you give them to family members or friends or whatever, and you say to them, like, you ATX, you give me this in 1 year from now for my own birthday. It's my own present for my own birthday. Facing reality, I'll give you this piece of paper. You're gonna give it to me in 5 years from now for my own birthday. Like, you're gonna reward your future self, like.
Well, and the thing, yeah, exactly. So the thing, even with BNB too, that was that kind of got launched right before the bear too. So that's why I would say it went down, guys. We're entering bull. I'll say we're in bull. Don't get me wrong. I know we're in bull facing reality. I say this to the disbelievers. We aren't in a bear anymore. I can promise you that much. Yeah. But I call this the accumulation phase for every stage where everything kind of goes sideways for a while. And kind of trades because people are in disbelief. They're like, no way that's happening. We're still in a bear. And then you go sideways and goes like this. And then eventually it just launches. So imagine if you just take it from, I mean, dude, like, no matter what, guys, this is a big time to be entering. And we're entering bull market right now.
Yep.
So we've already passed the 1 year of like, imagine if PulseChain had launched last year. We would have seen the 90% dip.
100%.
The 95% dip. Like, I truly do believe that, because every coin goes down during a bear market. And oh my God, I look at these numbers, folks, and it just blows me away. You see it and you're like, wow. Like, again, just 800 days, you're like 200x that money. My gosh. And that's being conservative. I mean, I know y'all don't want to necessarily give price predictions or anything like that, we'll say, but I mean, do y'all have like an idea? Because I know, for example, I look at the average, right? We'd see the average of decentralized exchanges going and doing a 500x in 3 years, or I'm sorry, a 500x in 1 year. You see the average of a layer one 3800x in 3 years, 3.5 years. Do you think that we're still in the same scenario with PulseX and PulseChain, or are we just seeing them almost kind of correlate with each other so much more, where 500 PulseX is laughable now?
I mean, it all depends. I mean, liquidity plays a big role in this. Timing plays a big role in this. If we truly get the adoption that we think we will get in the next cycle, and the FOMO that comes with it, it could be extremely conservative, or we could never reach it at all. You pretty much don't know, but my personal opinion is it's gonna melt faces, and it's gonna even outperform even the wildest dreams that people had.
Gloria says that person who leaked the documents over the Pentagon leak, he just got charged. I'm like, that's a fall guy, guys, in my opinion. Yeah. Like, I know we got all the docs and you can prove everything, and like, but guys, there's always a fall guy. So he's a scapegoat on that one. I saw someone asking, they were like, hey, should a 21-year-old have access to classified documents? I had access to classified documents at one point in time in my military career. Like, and I was below 20 at that time, because if you go through the ranks, you go through security clearance, you get checked, and then that's it. Like, and you can get, depending upon where you get within the security clearance, you can get access to top classified documents. You can get access to a whole bunch of stuff where you have to go into actual like war rooms, put your cell phone in. You can't actually drop it in. You drop it in a box and it closes. Then you go in and actually have a whole conversation about all the operations. You don't think that shit like is shared with people just because they're younger than because they're 21? All crazy. So,
in my opinion,
fall guy.
Every information that we get, doesn't matter how extravagant it is, you got it because they want you to get it. If they don't want you to know something, you don't know. It's that simple.
Facts on facts.
So all the things that we hear about the whistleblowers, about the Biden laptop, about Donald Trump's escapades, all these things come out deliberately. It's to keep us occupied, keep us divided, and never revolt.
Whoops, something slipped out.
Yeah, exactly. Oopsie. Get out of here, man. That's just naive.
All right, so John Neese is asking here, and I already know my answer, but I'll ask y'all the same question.
You know what's funny? Our prime minister here in the Netherlands is using this old Nokia 3310. And for some reason, he's been able to keep that phone a secret from the parliament, but his text messages just came out deliberately in front of the elections, and it's all
conveniently.
Just a quinkity.
It's but only if you open your eyes, because some people are really blind to the truth, because they're like, it's all happening on TV.
Man, if you're listening, if you hear stuff on mainstream, just assume it's all fabricated. I'll just leave it like that. Mainstream media is going to paint a picture to, like you said, keep you divided, keep you engaged, and most of the time, it's to keep you occupied and look it's misdirection, folks. It's to try to get you looking in the other direction, so that way you ain't seeing what's really going on over here on the side. Because, like, if they didn't want us to know this stuff, like, they talking about the media is already launched, the media is already there. Like, all these school shootings, they released the police cam footage like 2 seconds after it happened. Guys.
Smile for the camera.
Come on, man.
Yeah,
come
exactly.
on. That's some crazy shit, dude. So, like you gotta put some blinders on when it comes to that kind of stuff. And it's cool to hear, it's cool to know, but I don't let myself get sucked into that, world by any means. So, John East is asking, should I focus on buying all 4 PulseChain coins or add more only to PulseX bag? I work a middle-class job, so I don't have a ton of money to plug into the system.
DCA and all.
Yeah.
That's simple. You just want to own them all.
Diversify in DCA. As long as you can. Like, if you got $100 for example, it's not a whole lot of money, but everybody can miss $100 a month. Do 25 on each. Just see how it builds up.
Well, I made. Let me calculate back. $100 in HEX when I got in was about $125,000 at all-time high or something. Or no, just less.
Right.
So just $100 can bring you a long, long way.
Do the math, bros.
And to go back and, you know, break it down to the math on this one, I'm a numbers guy, man. I've always been a numbers guy, and that's just kind of how I've always seen it. So let's just say, for example, and I'm going to pull up some charts on this one, not charts, some information, times 50x. And I just want to make sure I got my math correct over here before I do it live on stream. Y'all already know how that happens sometimes. Let me do live stream. Let me do math live on stream. That shit ends up.
Viewers.
Yeah, that shit ends up looking like you a goofball and you don't know what you're talking about. And I'm like, well, I just tried doing it fast so that way y'all wouldn't be waiting. I found it's just to be easier, just to keep everyone waiting. All right, so let's just say they take out, you know, 10% profit here, and of course that'll be, you know, good old 15K, and then you just use that. All right. So this is an easy way to explain something like that. And again, this is super, super simple, folks. Like this isn't anything too crazy, super easy. So again, if you had the $3,000 to start off with, it does a 50x during that time. You get a nice little $150,000 in your bag at that point in time, guys. And I'm saying, do not go stupid on this. Don't cash out fully. Like, you have to do a small portion when I say these numbers. So I say 10%, 20% max. I do not go higher than 20%. But God forbid you want to go 20%, because you're just going to miss out so much later. You'd be looking at 30K. So now when you're talking about the DCA strategy, instead of that $3,000 that you initially had, you turn that into $150,000. You take out 15K, and you're still left with 135,000 over here. You know what I mean? Whoops, 135K and dollars that you're sitting on right now. You take out your 10% profits and you use this 15 to 20 or 15 to 30K to DCA into the next 4 projects, or to the other 3 projects. Now, again, you can use it to start DCAing back into PulseX as well. But when we talk about 4 projects, it's HEX on Ethereum, HEX on PulseChain, and PulseX. These 3 projects stay within the ecosystem if you keep it at just 3. Okay, so like if you keep it PulseChain, PulseX, and HEX on PulseChain, that stays within the ecosystem. You don't have to worry about bridging. Bridging is a way to end up getting screwed as well. So like, be cautious on bridging. I'm thankful that we're going to have bridges around, but I'm always hesitant because that's where most hacks actually happen, is through bridges. Now, granted, we got Pulse Ramp and they're going to be doing good stuff for us, and it's a copy of another fork bridge that's never had any issues. So we're just going to keep it simple there, right? But if you just DCA this 15 to 30K over the next 24 months, guys, again, this isn't crazy. So let me see exactly what that ends up being. 15K divided by 24, 15,000 divided by 24. You're looking at $625 that you can actually average per month in DCA into these 4 projects, per month into 3 projects, 4 projects, whichever way. Again, it depends on if you actually want to get it done. But you do this for the span of 24 months, and you're looking at a nice bag at the end, because at this point in time, you've turned something that was only a 50x in the beginning, and we'll say 2 years from now, we're looking at a 500x at that point in time. This is when things get crazy, right? So then you turn. Go ahead.
Can you guys imagine what happens then?
Wow. Oh, dude, that's what I'm saying. We're in another world at that point in time, right? So say this project goes on to do a 400x during the next 2 years. During 2 years, and this is just for PulseX, for example, you're sitting on 1.2 mil here, right? And 1.2 mil. So you're sitting on 1.2 mil on PulseX with only taking 10% in the very beginning. So like, you have to like, guys, you have to understand, this is some crazy stuff that's very possible. But you turn this $625, and then guess what? Say, for example, PulseChain at this point in time, PulseChain goes and does, you know, another 400x. And guys, being very conservative here, 400x over the, now this is going to be some wanky math because again, it doesn't add up correctly because the price is going to fluctuate over time depending upon what you get. La da 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 da. But you still turn $625 divided by 3 into the 3 projects times 24 times 400x. So you turn, oh my gosh, dude, mad money over here for sure. So you turn that into 2 mil over here, 2.0 mil, and that's just PulseChain. You get HEX over here. Say that goes and does another 400x as well. That could be essentially looking at another 2 mil because again, I'm just breaking it down on how this works. And so you end up sitting on 1.2 mil here, 2 mil here, 2 mil here. Your life looks different. And it doesn't have to, and it doesn't have to be crazy. So like, I know you can keep on working the job and you can DCA that way. But again, guys, you don't have to take a whole bunch of money to turn it into a whole bunch of money.
Correct.
I'm
So
gonna call my friend. Hang on. Elon. That you, bro? Elon, that planet Mars you were talking about. How much for it? Get it? What? Fuck, I'm gonna buy Mars, guys. Fuck yeah.
Oh, shit.
Bro. See you at coffee.
Yeah, guys, and to think that just started with $3,000. Okay, so like, guys, the math is crazy, but if you do it right and you can actually have a long-term vision on this play, you can it's going to be life-changing for a whole bunch of people.
Yeah.
And that's a simple little 400x. Now, granted, that doesn't take into account what the average price is that you paid and da 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 da. I get all that, right? But when you look at just zooming out sometimes and you're like, guys, I could take a small percentage because 3,000 guys, I could see a 50x happening within the span of at least the first 6 months of PulseX. So if you wait till the 50x happens, you take out 10%. You're now working with $15,000 that you can use to DCA back into the projects. And for some people, that's their paycheck in a year, right? Like I used to do finance for several people, and I would talk to them, and they're making $22,000 a year, and you're like, I don't know how you live, fam. Like,
how do you do that shit?
Like, how do you do that, man? Like, what are you doing, right? Like,
it's like grocery bill for the year,
right? Exactly, like exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying, dude. Like, I fucking spend that shit on Amazon sometimes faster than I freaking can imagine, right? And I'm like, you got 20K in a year, shit. Like I've done that in a month before, you know what I mean? So like it's crazy to see that. But guys, you got to understand that it doesn't take a whole lot here, but you have to make sure that you play your cards correctly too. Because if you don't have a lot of money to work with, then you don't have the ability to play and make the same moves that some people have where they have millions already.
Yeah.
So don't fall for someone who's like, oh yeah, I'm converting my position of PLSX into Pulse, and yet they're already sitting on, multi-million status in HEX, and then they get it copied over on PulseChain, and now they're multi-millionaire. Yeah. Like, and then they have the ability to take some more risk because if they want, they can buy back in later, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So
I'm glad that you're talking about the DCA out strategy because there's another big thing that comes with it. If you're in crypto and you're only a DCA buy-in, you will probably never sell because funny enough, the human emotion, how it works, the higher the price goes, the lower the chance that you are actually going to sell it.
Wow.
Because you think it's going to go higher still.
Always greed.
If you're already used to DCA out and you're already used to the feeling of actually transforming your crypto back into dollars, that threshold isn't that high anymore. So if you never sold any crypto back to fiat, do it now, even if it's for $100 or $1,000. Do it.
All right. Yeah, I know, right? Like, yeah, straight up, guys. Like that right there. Learn, we got another guest that we're bringing onto the stream. Let's go ahead and welcome Crypto Khalil. What's up, my friend?
What's up, guys?
Let's go.
What's up? I heard you're gonna be getting that mic and camera set up as well, so we're gonna be having some fun here shortly, my friend. You gonna be doing some streams?
Yeah, for sure. I just loaded them today. Yeah, I'm gonna be doing streams. I've been posting videos, but I'm trying to really get into like streaming with other people and stuff. Get like closer to everybody.
A great way to do it. I mean, this is one thing I messed up on when I first started streaming, I'll say it, was I didn't hop on other people's streams. And I know that seems like a simple way of doing it, and it seems like an easy thing to say, but there was points in time where, you know, we host these open mic sessions, and that was hosted for years before I even, you know, started streaming myself. And so I never got in on them. I would always just participate in the background, and I would always like think, man, I really should, you know, start my own channel. And then by the time I started my own channel, I was like, I'll just grind it out myself. That's cool. That's cool.
Started off in a sort of a cockpit.
What's that?
Didn't you start off streaming in sort of a cockpit or a,
no? So my whole stream, my stream just started with animations. I didn't show face, you know, because I was like, I don't know, I just want to make it
in Twitter Spaces.
Yeah, we've had Twitter Spaces. Yep,
exactly. Because once I found your channel, wait a minute, this guy sounds familiar.
Yeah,
but I couldn't. It's the Twitter Spaces. Here we go.
Yeah, so Twitter Spaces is where we ended up that's where I started kind of branching out into. And again, like there would be so many times where I would just listen in the background.
Like all of us.
Yeah, like all of us, you know, like you're just sitting there and you're like, oh man, I love to just listening to this knowledge. And then I'd have something to say and I'm like, man, I should go ask it. And then I just wouldn't do it, you know? So Crypto Khalil, welcome, my friend. This is the way to do it. Long story short.
How do I sound? I sound all right?
Yeah, you sound good.
You sound great.
Right. I got AirPods.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Apple. Come on, man. You know Apple. Dude, like Apple's got some solid freaking stuff, man. Don't get me wrong, drives me crazy. But I was an Android guy for a long time.
I can't get used of the Apple. I'm sorry.
I gave in. I got a fucking Mac now. I got a freaking iPhone. I got AirPods. I'm like, fuck, man. I didn't want this world.
My new phone yesterday.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You could literally kill somebody with this thing. It weighs. I'm not even joking. It weighs 410 grams.
Oh, check that out. I love the background.
And it's supposedly indestructible.
Oh no, not the crack screen.
It's dropped over your phone and it still works. I mean, I drove my fucking Scania over it and it still works.
Just drive it over a truck.
Yeah. I had a little accident happen.
You got any questions for my friend Crypto Khalil?
When next stream?
Next
Friday? No, I really want to get on with you on WestCon on like Wednesdays, to be honest.
Yep. Oh, yeah, that'd be dope, man.
I feel like
Pulse Nation.
I'm kind of on like the same level of like WestCon. Like I know stuff, but I'm not like, I can't get real technical into like everything. But like I've been in about 2 years, so like I know enough.
Nice.
And you know what's funny? You know, I think
crypto.
Yeah, I think Rag said it best on the stream because we were on the stream yesterday on Bindu Bard's channel and he just hosted everyone, man. That was a banging stream. If y'all missed that,
that was freaking
mother sucker did it for freaking 6 hours, and I was like, God damn.
I got in after 2.5 hours thinking I missed everything, and then we went on for another 3.5 hours. I think, damn, that was freaking.
Yeah, dude, that was wild. Everyone's like, "Oh man, I missed it," and you're like, "That we just getting started." And I was thinking that thing was never gonna end. I was like, "It's just never happened. It's just gonna keep on going." But Rags actually said it best, man. So like, when you don't know something, the easiest thing to do is like write that down. Like, because you're gonna get asked questions about a whole bunch of stuff, especially like protocols that I ain't never heard of, you know. And if that's something that you know if you just talk Hex in the Hex community, that's a little bit easier because we all talk in the same language. But like Randy Alarski gets asked all the time, tons of questions about so many different projects, and he's just like, "Yep, writing that one down," and then he goes and figures it out and learns it and studies it. That's how you get better, man. If you don't understand all that, like, you're gonna learn. It's all good.
And don't rush yourself.
Right. Yeah. It all comes with time.
Don't
rush yourself on focusing on 5 different projects at the same time. Just do one by one.
Right.
Yeah. No, and I never. Yeah. The idea of diversification, I think, is like lost on people. and I've said this before. So there's such a thing as diversification, but the way I do it is you diversify your wealth, and it's not through different projects. It's 2 different wallets. Okay, you focus on key projects that you can make sure that you win, and then once you win, you take those funds and move it into a few different wallets to make sure that if one ever ends up getting jeopardized, you ain't just out all that money right away.
What I feel like too is that people who have already made it in crypto try to push diversification to people who are newer, which like you were talking about earlier, if you have $100, how are you going to diversify into multiple projects? Like,
I think diversification within one asset makes no sense. If you want to diversify and secure your wealth, you don't do it in the same asset. So diversification within crypto that all drops 95% makes no sense. So the whole diversification idea is, in my opinion, is nonsense. Yes, diversification is real for people with big wallets. Why? They need multiple liquidity to actually exit the system. They can't, if there are HEX billionaires right now that can't never get out $1 billion out of HEX.
Right.
So they need to diversify to get access to liquidity. For plebs like us, diversification only hurts you. All crypto goes down into the same level, pretty much. It makes no sense.
Yeah, definitely will, especially during a bear market. But guys, we're entering bull, and we're not entering. We're already in bull, and you know, what do y'all see? What do y'all see HEX doing during the next cycle? Because I know I've kind of done my math, and I love no matter which way I do it, it looks beautiful. But what do y'all see happening?
I think 4 to 8, to be honest.
4 to 8.
I'm just being kind of conservative, at least like 4 to 8.
I'm almost there with you. I think at least single-digit dollars. But if all the stars align, we could see double digits.
Yeah, for sure.
But
only if align.
Yeah. What are you thinking?
Yeah, like what's that? Single. My food was given to me, so dinner. Yeah.
And if we both get above $5, we already have double digits because you got 2.
So that would be so if we get $5, that's 100,000 X that HEX did.
It would be the Ethereum and the PulseChain side that's gonna be, man, I can't even think of numbers. It's gonna be wild. And if we go double digits on both chains, we're gonna rule the damn world.
Yo, I always forget that we get it on both chains. I don't know why. It seems like the dumbest thing ever. That like you're like, oh, we talk about PulseChain all the time, but then you forget that.
I'm trying to explain to friends that we get our tokens doubled, and they're like, "Do I get my bitcoins doubled as well?" I'm like, "Well, what? Hang on. This is Ethereum. Ethereum is being cloned." Yeah, do I get?
If you have wrapped Bitcoin, that's not a ERC20, right?
You get your. They're talking about wrapped Bitcoin.
You could wrap it, but.
Well, I don't think the wrap value will have any value over on, because it has to be, it does have to be backed still.
They think like, I'm gonna buy a full Bitcoin and get it copied over to PulseChain. Then I'm gonna sell it back to a full Bitcoin on the Bitcoin. And it doesn't work that way. I think that of all the tokens that exist on Ethereum right now is HEX, Pulse, PulseX, and maybe no financial advice, Shiba could gain some traction because of their large community, but HEX will blow everybody's minds. It's going to gain parity in no time.
Yeah, no, it's going to do a whole bunch of crazy stuff. And, a lot of the times I'll just go back and look kind of like what's been done in the past because, why not? That's an easy way of just kind of seeing what may be possible in the future, especially if we get Metcalfe's law and you have the idea that the more people that join, the price actually multiplies instead of just like doubling. It actually multiplies by quite a bit. So, if you actually pull up, for example, and I always had this up here, just to look at to keep myself nice and happy a lot of the times. But
I got those as well.
Yeah. So right here, this is essentially if HEX was to do the same thing, another 10,000X and just had the fun time and all that stuff from launch when it actually happened, you would be seeing the price of HEX right about $50 by 2024.
Yeah, 56 is possible.
Damn.
Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah, and then you're like, all right, what if it takes a little bit longer? And you can always adjust and move and just extract and just say, okay, we go to 2025 where we're looking at $50. But that's why I see HEX reaching $1 by the end of the month, and not by the end of the month. Can you imagine? That would be freaking stoked. I would be so happy. By the end of the year,
throw a party if that happens.
Yeah,
you're all welcome in Portugal.
Let me ask my roommate something. Hey, Casper, what color Lambo do you want?
Yeah. Oh, no
Pink
Lambo.
one. Okay, nice.
Yeah, can you imagine? Yeah, we're all gonna be. You look at this stuff and you're like, all right, cool. That's an easy way that I kind of like predicted out, and I just look at what's been done in the past, and again, crazy. So you got Ben asking, any chance I can buy PLS and PLSX at launch price after the bridge, or will it go too high before I can bridge over from Ethereum and swap?
Well, after PulseChain goes live, the first 48 hours before the bridges go open, you can swap any token you want, right?
Right.
For PLS and PLSX.
Right.
So make use of that.
I think they're talking about trying to get it at, again, like, will we see launch price? Will we see launch price after the bridge launches? So I'm kind of torn on that one, because I do think the price is going to dip. If it goes up and starts out at a 10x, I see it maybe dropping down to like a 4x above sacrifice, for example. 4x. Right? And then you can see it going back up again after that. But I don't know if that's going to be before the bridge or after the bridge, because when the bridge comes, folks, my God, you're gonna have some people take profit and convert into fiat. Cool, take your money, boo. But then you're gonna have so many people that are convert from Ethereum into PulseChain, and that's why I think the price of HEX is gonna be a freaking price that you want to be watching out for on Ethereum. I'm scooping up as much as I can. I got limit orders going all the way down to a penny, because I don't know how low that sucker's gonna go. Like, that's to be silly. I don't know how low it'll go, because I see a lot of folks doing a lot of stupid shit and like ending their stakes early. I see people, selling their HEX on Ethereum just to try to move it over to HEX on PulseChain. I see a whole bunch of stuff happening, and when that happens, the price is just gonna go doot, 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 right? And so I got my limit orders in place to try to take advantage of that when it happens. But god dang,
what do you think
you guys see
multiplier gonna be at launch?
Say again.
What do you think the multiplier is going to be on PLS at launch?
Oh shit!
So I've said anywhere between 10 to 20 from launch, dropping anywhere between 5 to 8, because I see, no matter what, I see a 3-to-1 ratio. I've said this before in the beginning. A lot of people are going to be focused on PulseChain. I think I saw someone even upset earlier in the chat. Basically, he said like, Pulse for the win. And I'm like, guys, don't sleep on PulseX. But get a bag of all four. Like, fuck around and find out. See what happens. Like, they're all gonna go up a lot. And if you have the chance to just have some, like, you're not gonna make a perfect play. No one is gonna make a perfect play in this scenario. There's too many factors. Way too many factors. And if there is, it's gonna be like 1 out of 100,000 people, which is the amount of people that actually sacrifice. So like, what are we talking about? Like, I'm not trying to make a perfect play. I want to make sure that I can make sure that I'm here in the future. Right. Yeah. And so I could see the price of Pulse doing 10 to 20 from launch, going up to 50 to 100 pretty fast. And then I see a lot of people being like, oh shit, never had this kind of money before. Yeah. And then just like exit, because people are going to exit completely. That's trader mentality.
Right, I'm gonna enjoy my dinner. I'm gonna log out. Maybe I'll rejoin later on.
Warrants, much love, my friend. Thank you.
Have a good one, brother.
Thanks for having me.
Later, friend. All right, much love to that, dude. So cool, man. Warrants is so freaking cool. He's actually getting me and Westcott hooked up with some jackets. We still need to get set up on the logo for the Pulse Nation. We just did all this. It came together so fast. We haven't actually got it all set up ahead of time. But
I was supposed to go out with him this weekend, and Suzanne.
Yeah. Oh, dude, Suzanne Arts is gonna. Oh man, she makes some sick merch too.
And we pretty much made the arrangements for upcoming week and next weekend. And then just 4 days ago, I finally got the green light on a house in Portugal. And now I need to drive my ass with a trailer and a lot of shit to Portugal. Wow. So unfortunately, I can't do that.
Well, congrats, man.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Congrats on that. Oh, I went way back up in chat. Yeah, long awaited for sure. What brought you out to Portugal? Why go Portugal?
Well, initially my plan was to go to the United States, but since it's pretty much impossible for a non-United citizen to get into the United States, instead of being illegal, then you can just cross the border. But the normal way, the normal or regular way, it's pretty much impossible. The chances for me to getting a green card is big as me winning the lottery. It's just
it takes years, man.
I think a lot of people say Portugal is a good place to move.
Oh, it's
especially if you like get to like retiring ages and stuff.
Yeah, we went last year for a holiday for 2 weeks. Went to Famous for a week, so we spent some time, and I fell in love with Portugal. And then I said, "Yeah, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna go to Portugal, and we'll see from there."
Beautiful, man. God, dude, that's so freaking cool. That is so freaking cool. God dang. Who else is going out there with you?
My family. So my wife and 2 kids.
Congratulations, my dude.
Yeah. Completely self-sufficient. That's the goal.
Yes, sir. That's beautiful, man. That is beautiful. Congrats. Which coins outside the HEX ecosystem are each of you into, and why? Crypto Khalil, we'll let you go first.
Honestly, I came from the Cardano community. I was really heavy into it. And then I ended up finding the HEX while watching Big Boy one day on Around the Blockchain, and then kind of the rest is history. Went like full HEX.
Okay, easy enough. What about do you mess with any of the other derivatives? Hedron, Icosa, Maxi?
Oh yeah, of course. I'm heavy on Icosa, a little bit more than Hedron.
Nice.
Of course, because the yield's kind of like Westcott.
Yeah, yield is insane in Icosa.
Oh, the yield is
makes no sense, man. Every time I open that thing, is this real? God,
I kind of did the same thing as you with the HSIs and tried to get in and get some cheap T-shares. Didn't work out.
Yeah,
there's always people outbidding you on HSIs.
Yeah, you gotta have a bag and just be ready to just swap, smash some folks. But yeah, I gave up on the HSIs. I'm probably gonna try it again. I got a HSI. I got a Hedron stake ending soon. I'm just like, oh, forget it. I might as well try soon. So try to get some more T-shares before the launch of Pulse and all that. But I don't have any HSIs at this point in time. I like the idea behind them, but when you look at everything and you're like, I get Icosa, fam. Like, my God.
Gives you a little flexibility.
My God. And what about you? What about how's everyone going? How you doing on this one, Facing Reality? What else do you mess with?
Same. Cardano, just because of the founder and the community behind it. It's a layer 1, so it's always a good choice. And we've learned from Richard Hart that community and the founder is extremely important in a project. So that's the reason why Cardano. I'm also playing with Link, just because, in my opinion, it's the only oracle that actually is trusted by everybody. So probably it's going to be the oracle that is going to be used in the future.
Right.
I think Link is going to do very well.
I agree.
What else? Texan token, of course.
Gotta love the Texan token, my friend.
Texan token is, I'm in that for day one. I donated money. I even said, even though I'm probably never gonna be in Texas, I have no association with the American independence or whatsoever. Yep. But as soon as somebody's actually fighting for your freedom and independence, then I'm the kind of guy that's gonna support it. So
love that.
That I got tokens in return, it's a plus.
Do you mess with any meme coins, Pulse Doge, pleb, poor pleb?
Yeah. I'm gonna ask that too. Or like Calm. Anybody ever go into like the rabbit hole of investigating in Calm?
Right. Okay. Well, I might as well ask this, Crypto Khalil, because I just kind of like threw you on in, man. So let's actually get a little backstory behind the Crypto Khalil introduction into the ecosystem? You know, what made you find Richard Hart? Did you find Richard Hart before HEX?
No, I was saying I found him when he was on Around the Blockchain with BitBoy, and then I think he ended up just popping up like on my YouTube somewhere, and I watched like a couple of videos from like February of last year.
Yeah.
So then I ended up getting it in within like a month. I was already starting to get in, buy, and stake HEX, and then freaking been in ever since. Keep on accumulating, catching really good prices. Honestly, over the past like January, February of this year, I was heavy on DCA, and now I already find that I'm like got very good prices in comparison to anybody who's been in about as long as I have.
Yeah, that's amazing, man. Yeah.
No, and that's the way to do it. Yeah, hit the likes, folks. Hit the likes for sure.
It's
in the house.
It's what DCC says. He said people that are in the Richard Hart ecosystem are already extremely rich. They just don't know it yet.
Right.
I like that though. I mean, guys, if you think about it, like, I mean, yeah, of course, you just gotta wait.
Jake Sharp always says to look at your daily payout is like how many HEX again? Think of it as in dollars, because obviously at one point HEX is going to be dollars or more.
Oh, I've seen my staker app when we were at all-time high, and it's unrealistic, man.
That's what I know. I went through the same thing too, man. So like I want everyone to be ready for it. Like, I mean, Matty Allin talks about it, man. That freaking, you better be ready to see yourself go to many figures, 7 figures in some cases, and then be okay with it to go back down, because you have faith that it's going to go back up. If you're long term and you zoom out, you have got to be ready for it, because guys, we're going to see that all of our accounts, and that's what makes HEX beautiful. It makes it easy to stake. What's going to be hard for people is PulseChain and PulseX. They're going to see money that they have access to right away. And it's going to be very difficult for them to hold on to that. Because guys, when you see 100 extra money, 500 extra money, 1,000 extra money from whenever you first got in, and you're going to act like you ain't going to do nothing,
come on, man.
Come on.
That's really why like staking is really undefeated, because it stops you from taking out that 5x, that 10x. Like, you just sit there through the whole time, or else you're going to take a hit on the HEX that you own.
I mean, the tax situation is better in Portugal. Is that right?
Yes.
Cool.
But it's different. It's a different structure. You still have income tax. You still have pretty much the regular tax that you have. The one benefit that I saw within Portugal is that your first asset as a house, doesn't matter how expensive it is, you don't pay taxes on it. No property tax, no all those kind of stupid taxes. But if you get a second house, then yes. But if you just own one thing and don't be a degen and want to have 10 houses, then you're perfectly fine.
That's dope, man. Yeah, we're so freaking blessed. But yeah, I mean, we definitely have so many folks who have the ability to. We're gonna probably have one of the wealthiest communities in terms of the mindset, in terms of the community, in terms of the knowledge, in terms of everything when it comes to all that. Not just the dollars, because dollars is cool, like you said, but like the idea that we're here to help people is something that you don't really see from. Yeah, you see it from some other communities for the most part, like Cardano is a bigger one, because, you know, you got to see that run up to what, $3, $4, and that was a cool run up. I had sold all my Cardano right at $1, and then I watched it run up and was like, damn it.
God damn it.
You know? So you see that same thing happen over and over again, but it's the same cycle, because guys, when you have that freaking liquid, oh my gosh, and you're going to act like it's not there. That's crazy. You know what I mean? So I want everyone to keep that in mind whenever I do say this, for sure, to be ready. I'm a fan of moving it back into HEX personally. That's kind of how I'm going to make sure that I don't just absolutely wreck myself, because I showed y'all earlier what these numbers look like.
T-shirt, baby.
Yeah, like imagine you go take 500,000 of the $5 million that you have. So again, 10%, and you move that into HEX, and you go T-share that, and you stake it out, and then you get to earn some passive income from that. Like, guys, That is a way to not end up screwing yourself. Because then if you mess up, if you do something stupid on PulseChain or PulseX, then you can at least have a fallback option.
I mean, we are still talking about T-shares, but that is going to be something of the past really soon.
Well, dude, it was already, so 2021 we went to start talking about B shares because it was costing $10,000, $14,000 for
I think the highest we got was 9,800 or something.
Is that what it was?
I think so, yeah.
I forget the exact number because it's been a while already now. But yeah, it makes sense. So it was almost like 10,000 for a T-share. Yeah, dude, that was an absolutely crazy time. Now, let me sort it out. Yeah, so the highest it shows on HEX daily stats is $9,018.
Oh,
so, and that used to just cost 18,665 HEX back then. We're already up to where a T-share costs 26,837.
I still remember the 17s.
Yo, like yeah. So that is so. Oh my God, we're talking so. And again, these numbers are going to get crazy. But if we just go back, because that was back when HEX was reaching probably all-time high. It says it for 48 cents. So I think you were right because it had a small bit of time where actually peaked at the 56. But so let's go and just kind of do the same math. What is 48 cents times 26,800? Is that what I said? 26,800. 837 right now. Costs $12,881.
If we go back to all-time high.
That's just 48 cents.
That's oh my Lord.
And that's at the current T-share rate. So by the time we actually end up to the price there, the T-share rate's going to be higher, and
probably 28. Yeah.
So guys, I'm telling you, don't sleep on this right here. HEX is definitely going to be the GOAT in all of this, and I think people forget. But I was doing a stream. Did you see the math that I did the other day to what HEX would end up doing? My gosh, folks,
it's mind-boggling.
Guys, if HEX is a better Bitcoin. Okay, and I showed this off on stream, and I might as well show.
What was it? $356 or something?
$386.
Oh my Lord!
So we'll just do the same math, right? Because you just go 10,000x divided by. Let me just do divided by.
You will never see me again. If we hit that price, you will never see me again.
I'm in the same boat, my friend. I am, and there'll be a new content creator to come take our reins at that point.
Exactly.
You ain't seeing me, friend. You ain't seeing me. But yeah, let me pull this. Oh my God. Yeah, that's facts right there. So let me do the same. I'll show you exactly how I did the math on this one. So 10,000x at 56 cents divided by that would have given us the price of 0.000056. But let me just make sure I got it right. 10,000 divided by 0.56. Bam. Oh, did that one wrong. 0.56 divided by 10,000. There you go. So flip-flop these two. Just for shits and giggles, I like to be correct in case anyone wants to try to pull this up later. All right, so 10,000, 56 cents divided by 10,000 would have left us right at 0.00056. So doing the same math, if HEX is in fact a better Bitcoin, okay, and Bitcoin did a 6.9 million X, well then what happens if HEX does that same thing? If HEX equals 6.9 million X as well. Okay. So if you just do that, 0.000056 times 6.9 million X, you're looking at $386 per HEX, my friend. Per HEX. Like
286.
And guys, if this is supposed to be faster, than Bitcoin did it as well, then I could see this possibly doing this by 2029. And that's just assuming that's just kind of how the math works out, right? Because if we're gonna be if HEX is in fact greater than Bitcoin, like we already know it is, and it's a better store of value than Bitcoin, then we do everything faster than Bitcoin, then by 2029 we would see this price. And then at that point in time, I don't even know what the payout is.
What is 512 or 520 times 0.17? 520
times 0.17, $88.
That is what Bitcoin did in his second cycle. I believe somewhere around the 500x in his second run up.
Right. Yeah, no, I mean that is what someone was saying as well during the second run up. I think, who was it that was talking about that? I forget off the top of my head. But yeah, guys, y'all want to see some moon math? That's moon math right there.
That's moon math, yeah.
And that's why I don't mess with. I'm not counting this out in this scenario.
Nope. If all the stars align, yeah.
Barking dogs don't bark and dojos don't bite. Oh shoot, man, y'all are funny on this one. HODL is a real strategy. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Yeah, sudden wealth syndrome is definitely going to be a real thing for so many people. Guys, don't fall asleep on HEX. That's why if you get the ability to see 100x your capital from PulseChain, PulseX, Sacrifice, take some small portion. You don't gotta do it all. Just take some, move it over into HEX. Like, save yourself from yourself. Like, and then, oh my God. And then I look at it and I'm like, guys, we're getting this copied because that's just crazy.
The copy again.
Yeah, I know, dude. And then you're
I'm so glad that I had the sudden wealth syndrome experience last cycle while knowing Matty Allen. So that was a good one. So this cycle, it's going to be just another day.
We're inside an awesome car, but he each time he saw the BTC reach 60K, he got yeah, guys. Hey, that's one of those things. That's why I'm waiting right now to buy the watches. Richard Hart talks about it all the time. He's got $1 million watches and all that, but he's like, don't be me. Like, I've already made it. You know what I mean? When you're a billionaire, you can go buy the $1 million watches. You know what I mean? But like, if you spend $1 million now and you just could have 10x or 100x that money in the span of 2-3 years, that is a big waste of return because a watch ain't going to give you that. A car ain't going to give you that. A house ain't going to give you that. So like, be smart with the money that you make. And I'm not saying don't live life and go live a comfortable lifestyle, but you can definitely live comfortable without getting bougie.
I mean, HEX did 13 doubles?
Yep. 13
thereabouts.
Yep.
The power of a double is insane. If you double a dollar 21 times, you're over $1 million.
Yep.
That's insane.
Yeah, that's the same thing as the penny, right? Everyone always said that. Would you rather have this the same conversation? They're like, hey, would you rather have 100,000 now or take a penny that doubles, for the next a year or something like that? They're like, oh, I'll just take 100,000 now. And then if you look at like the penny doubling after a year, it gets up into like these really stupid numbers real fast.
Correct. I think from a penny, it's 26 times for $1 million.
Crazy. Icosa is so good, ain't it? Yeah, dude. Icosa is, oh my gosh. So I'm actually going to be having Crypto Kong on the channel on Sunday to help explain Icosa to not only myself, but to all of you beautiful people who are watching as well.
Perfect.
So get ready for that stream to happen Sunday, 1:30 Central Standard Time, because my goodness, I got in, but I did not take full advantage like I should have.
Same.
And now I'm just like, all right, cool. I can make the now I gotta do the DCA way, right? Yeah. But Icosa being below $1, phenomenal time. Imagine having a naked supermodel in bed, naked, and you can't touch her.
That pretty much sums it up. Yeah.
All good, Crypto Khalil. Appreciate you coming through. Appreciate you showing up. And again, looking forward to having you on the stream with myself and Westcott as well. Looking forward to all this. And now we're on the same train. T-bone shares, folks. Man, the T-shares, man. Again, we ain't going to be talking about T-shares for long because God forbid HEX ends up going back up to even 48 cents again. T-share is almost out of range for majority of people, right? Because you're talking, well, if you get one, you may be able to get one T-share. And the way you can get one is by going 10 years. And because that gives you the max return. So instead of $1,200 or $12,000, it would end up costing you $4,000 still, right? So like, T-shares, my gosh. But yeah, we were already talking B-shares in 2021. And so I always said, if you can get one, folks, one T-share. It doesn't have to be crazy, but one T-share, and I'll show you this fun math as well, because why the F not using HEX Calc, guys? It's just freaking beautiful. But if you go to hexcalc.com, you can see this right now. So for example, it costs 26,000. So you would need a third of that. We'll just say 9,000 to make it simple. So 9,000 staked out, 15 years. Even at current prices right now, it goes crazy, right? You turn $667 right now, you get yourself 1 T-share, and that turns into 4,000. But guys, that's if price stays the same after 15 years. Let's be real. None of us are here for that to be the same. But even then, that's still a better return than you would ever get in the stock market or anything like that. So let's just be fun and say Hex ends up reaching $20. Well, this turns into $600 into 1.1 million. 1 T-share. 1 T-share. And the best part about this, facing reality, the best part about this, my friend, this is still calculated at 6.35 hex per day per T-share.
Yeah.
And that number goes up. Like we're already above. The average is already above 6.4.
Yeah.
So like that number goes even crazier. So let's just say that God forbid it takes 15 years for Hex to reach $50. Well, bam, you're sitting on 2.7. And if you actually have my prediction come to fruition, we're sitting on $386. You turn $667 into $21.5 million. 1 T-share, friends. 1 T-share. Don't sleep on Hex. I don't know if you could say it any other way, but just don't do it. Stats don't lie. They don't. That's why I love Hex. It's math. This is math. It's built into the code. Math is literally code at this point in time. It says it'll pay out this amount per day per this because of this. Bam. And then you can, hey, Hex is going to get paid out. And guess what? You're going to get it copied. So that's why I tell everyone, get yourself 1 T-share right now. Not financial advice. Stake that sucker out for 15 years. Go 10 years at least. That means you get the max at least. Go 10 years, 15 years. You get one over here, and then you just win at that point in time, folks. I sit back sipping ice cubes. Yo, I'm telling you, ain't seeing me, bro. You ain't seeing me. Hex, I don't know what number Hex is going to be at for you to not see me anymore, but there will be a number in time where I'm just like, all right, guys, y'all got this. Like, oh, shit. Yeah, there'll be a point. Like, guys, much love to Richard Hart. I don't know how he does it. I don't know. He hops on these streams 4, 5, 6 hours at a time, and he'll just have conversations with people. And I'm like, billionaire having conversations with you.
Yeah, that's what I had with the stream from yesterday. I got the old vibes back. In the beginning, like early 20s.
Yeah.
When we were just sitting in rooms, sitting in YouTube for hours and hours on end. And then back then we were literally waiting for a new video to come out, and hopefully it was 2 or 3 videos in a week.
Right.
Now I need about 70 hours in a day to watch them all.
I know. I'm a 2x in all the videos that I can just to make sure that I try to consume as much as I can. And I'm like, shit, I didn't go back and watch this one. I got to go back and watch it. And so, I'm right there with you. Yeah, facing reality. Alan Fizmay says facing reality will become faceless reality whenever Hex hits $100.
Yep. So true.
I got Elon asking if I got Elon on the line asking if you want to buy the Milky Way in cash or PLS. Yo, that's
gonna crash into Adronoma anyway.
Hey, so. Are you gonna mess with some of the liquidity forks at all? Like, liquid loans, you got the EARN protocol from Power City. Is that something you even bother messing with?
I'm gonna watch the cat out of the tree. That's how we say it in Dutch. I don't know the equivalent for English, but
okay. You're gonna see how it all plays, essentially.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and that makes sense because, like, man, again, I'm gonna do a small bit, just to try to learn it. But then I look at the liquidity fork, and I haven't messed with that either at this point in time. So I'm like, maybe I thought about doing some like testing on that right now, so I can get more familiar with it. But I don't know if I even should. I don't know how it works. I don't know how taxes work on it. There's so many questions that I have no idea about. And everyone's saying, like, I would love to get Liquid Loans or, Power City on for, a conversation. I haven't reached out to them, so it's on me.
I think before I'm comfortable using Liquid Loans, we at least have to have one cycle.
I love that.
That way, then we're at the bottom. If I need money by then, I could never be liquidated.
Right.
In a million years. So
Yeah, I think who was it that basically said, I want to say it was Cryptographics came out with the math on it, and it was something like you would need to be at a 5,000 collateralization ratio for it to withstand a 98% drop. And
That's
you
not
know,
bad.
that's what I was like, that actually ain't too shabby at all. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And so I was like, all right, cool. Maybe I'll consider, maybe doing a small bit, because you don't do it on the way up, folks. Let me just say that. Like, don't go in while it's pumping. Like, you go in when it's dipping, and then you're like, all right, cool, let's go in, collateralize, bam, you're good. But yeah, if it's pumping, I'm not a fan of trying to. That's like chasing a green candle. You don't do it. You don't do it, folks. We've learned the hard way. One day we log into YouTube and find ATX crypto account doesn't exist anymore. Yeah, I'll just pass. I'll sell the account to someone, who wants it at that time. It'll have like however many subscribers. Like, all right, cool, let's sell it. I'll buy some Pulse with it.
Yeah.
Oh shit, that'd be awesome. Logi33 says, hello, y'all. What do you think T-shares will do on Pulse and on the Hex Moon math? You forgot to add all the ladder you have on Pulse. I know. All of it gets copied. But yeah, what do you think T-shares are going to do on PulseChain?
It's going to ratchet up.
Oh, you almost said it. Just say it. I'm with you. I'm on the same page.
I had a conversation with, I think it was Hex is the Way or Hex Hangout. I can't really sure.
Okay.
I think it was Hex is the Way. I'm not really sure. And he was explaining how we falsely think that it's big stakes that actually moves it the most, but it's not entirely true. So, but yeah, I'm still of the opinion that the T-share rate on PulseChain is going to ratchet up quickly.
I agree. Yeah. So yeah, I remember listening to that conversation that you were having. Who was it that you were talking with on that one? Because I remember having that same thought, because they actually said that it actually depends on. Sound like something Crypto Sloth also said, but it ended up being a thing where basically it doesn't matter if you staked longer or bigger, or if you were earlier or later, or if you're a smaller stake. The system kind of bases it on like a whole bunch of other factors. And I forget the exact definition of it, because I was always of the mindset that, once these big stakes in, it ratchets up. Yeah. And they were saying that that's not the case. The small stakes can also cause it to ratchet up as well. And, by quite a bit in some cases too. Because, how it all works. And if they got in early, and if they were part of the big payday bonus and all that good stuff.
Yes.
So I was like, okay, cool. But I like right now, this is estimating. So I'll just pull up. This is, hexfire.io, phenomenal website by Crispy Man. But he actually made this little chart right here and basically shows what the share rate will do. And right now, they estimate that the share rate will reach 30,000 hex per T-share by the time we end up in October of 2023.
Damn.
Based on that's crazy to even think about, right? Yeah. And then what if Hex is already $1 by that point too, folks? Talking about $30,000 to get a T-share. My God. Because I think Hex is going to reach $1 by the end of the year, as long as PulseChain launches.
Same. I said that the same thing last year.
Yep. Yeah.
I already knew that 2023 we're gonna see $1.
Yep. Yeah. So I would see that we end up getting. I'm in the same boat. We end up getting 30,000. I'm just basing this off 30,000. I think we end up getting 30,000 hex per T-share on PulseChain before we see it on Ethereum. And guys, you have to understand that number is going to keep going higher and higher, and then the difference is going to be bigger and bigger. So people are worried, like, what about the hex on Ethereum? There'll be a point in time where it makes more sense to do stakes on Ethereum, no matter which way you do it, math-wise. So it's always going to be here. It's always built into the system. So I think we're going to see 30,000 hex on PulseChain first, and then that's because there's going to be a lot of people who do a lot of short stakes.
Yeah.
Very short stakes. Like if in the early days of Hex, people would do day stakes, which is crazy.
With one Hex.
Yeah. People are going to do the same thing on PulseChain. So because it's so cheap to transact. Like you're like, oh my gosh, it costs nothing. Just fucking who knows what'll be in the future. So like, I'm not a fan of doing that. You've learned the lesson. Hopefully everyone should have learned the lesson, but people are still going to do it. Set yourself quarterly stakes, make yourself something like that. It's a lot easier to manage and you don't have to pay gas every day, right? So I think HEX either reaches or the T-share rate ratchets up to 30,000 on PulseChain first, and then from there, guys, it just keeps going. The spread just gets bigger and bigger because there's going to be a lot of people who are going to think they can do a whole bunch of stakes in their stakes faster, do bigger amount stakes, shorter stakes. I'm very curious, but I love what you're saying there. T-shares are definitely going to go crazy.
Yeah, and I think we're going to see more payouts as well. Because people, we already see it on ETH where people just are an hour short, or too early, not just accidental. What will happen on PulseChain when you have all of a sudden thousands of end stakes? People will miss that 12 UTC by a couple of minutes or maybe an hour or nuke their account. I mean, we've seen
the UTC is gonna mess up so many people. They're gonna think, oh, it's by the end of the day I have whatever.
What happened to my HEX?
Oh god, I absolutely love it. Yeah, just one T-shirt is amazing for sure. Exactly, like I will do it for my son. That'll be his pension. Gloria, that right there. Guys, you get yourself one T-shirt. My god, if you got a kid and they're under the age of 3 at this point in time, stake that sucker for 15 years. Like, what's it gonna do? What's it gonna hurt you? Costs you $600 right now to do it. Right now at current prices. God forbid you actually got HEX below at the current prices. Just do one, right? Because one turns into a potential of $1 million+ dollars. Come on.
That's a funny story, but because that's how I approached HEX when I got in. Because when I got into a HEX, I was of the opinion that it was a scam.
Yep.
The whole big payday thing sounded for me like, give me one, I give you two. Yeah, where have we heard that before?
Oh yeah, scams like out the wazoo.
Yeah,
you avoid those like every single time someone says that.
Exactly. So yeah, I went into HEX. Okay, after big payday, and we did the full correction. I thought, okay, this is legit. And then I said, you know what? Let's do some Hail Marys for my kids. If this is what it is, a couple of $1,000 in a 15-year stake doesn't really sound like much. It's for my kids. My oldest is 16 right now, so by the time she's 31, she will get it.
Yep.
Well, HEX took over my portfolio. And it was supposed to be a Hail Mary for in the future. So yeah.
Woo! I love that. I love hearing that. And that's why, guys, if you do stake, stake for a reason. Don't just stake to stake. Like, as much as it is easy as it is, put things as a reason. Like, I've always said this before on my channel, but like, do it around anniversaries, do it around birthdays, do it around holidays, do it around a vacation you want to go on, because it gives you more of a reason to wait. 4-year cycle is a 4-year cycle is a new thing that I've actually now adopted. And I now base it on the 4-year cycle. So like, you would essentially go into stake 2023, 2024, 2025, skip 2026, then go 2027, 2028, 2029, skip 2030, right? And the idea behind that is you don't worry about the bear market, guys. That number's good. Woo! But guys, you look at the amount of money that comes out when those stakes actually end. Because yeah, when you go through a stake ending in a bear cycle, shit, I did a few freaking small stakes. I was mad as hell that I did them, because I was like, oh, I'll just do a few small ones. I did it through the stake wrap, and I was like, oh, I'll just do 15 multiple stakes and just do a ladder that way. And then like a couple of them ended, and then I was like, damn, it's gonna cost more in gas than it does to make the yield that I made off it. You know what I mean? And I had some friends do the same thing, and I got a little bit sad. But now I'm a big proponent of the 4-year cycle, because if you can get that wrapped around your head and you just do it in this 4-year cycle frame, you can actually get a nice little 15-year ladder. Freaking beautiful. But yes, right there. Gloria says, my Gloria, whoop, why didn't it pull up? Gloria says, my niece married a Dutch man, lives in Holland, got them to sacrifice their Pulse and PulseX.
Nice. Oh, Good boy.
People do crazy 15-year ladders on Pulse. It just gets inhibitive at the moment on Ethereum. Yeah, so I think, what are your thoughts on this? I think people commonly get the wrong idea of Ethereum gas fees. Do you think ETH gas fees are always going to be stupid and like stupid high? And do you think they'll never figure it out? Or do you think Ethereum's going to come around and find some way to lower their gas fees in the future?
I don't think so, to be honest. I truly don't. I think, no. I think it's going to be a problem for as long as, sure, they will probably get it somewhat down, but it's more simulated because they just put more into a block. So it is somewhat down, but no, I think it's going to be a problem for as long as ETH will exist.
Love it. Yeah, I mean, that's something. Well, okay, so then I'm of the belief that like some people are saying to DCA into Ethereum to make sure that they can pay for gas fees in the future. I'm of the opinion that you hold on to the token that's going to do way better and outperform Ethereum by a lot.
Yep.
And then when you need to convert it back and you can swap, then you just swap it and pay for the gas fee. Exactly. And we're going to get it all freaking duplicated, folks. So like, again, we're going to have PulseChain.
You.
Yeah. Oh, appreciate it, dude.
Because I was one of them that actually did the average. Sometimes it was when I got my Hedron or all those small payments, I just transferred into ETH, and I thought, yeah, then I have some ETH in my wallet. And then you said what you said. Why would I do that when HEX is gonna do 10, 100 times more than ETH? I thought, wait a minute. Yeah, that makes way more sense.
I kept hearing people say it, and I was like, stop saying it. Like, I just wanted to like get that like through their head, and I heard a few people say it, and I was like, guys, that's so backwards. Like, one, I don't like holding Ethereum in my wallet at all because it just leads to chains of hack. So I don't want to hold Ethereum. If I do hold Ethereum, it's in a separate wallet that I don't even have any of my HEX in. Why? Because if it gets compromised, they can't just freaking move all the money because that's what they use. They use your own Ethereum and then they swap it into their stuff. So I was like, all right, cool. So what's another way? Well, I don't want to DCA because my buddy was like adamant on it. He's like, dude, I'm scooping this up below 1,000. I'm scooping up Ethereum right now below 1,000. I was like, that's cool. Like, but what are you doing that for? Like, are you doing it because to hold on to Ethereum? Or he's like, no, I'm doing it to pay for gas fees. And I was like, that's wrong. That's so wrong, my friend. I was like, let me help explain. So the idea is that like if Ethereum is only going to do a 4 to 8x in the next cycle, which again would be somewhere between ballpark of $8,000 Ethereum, which would be a cool number for Ethereum, maybe 10,000, right? But if HEX goes and does a freaking $2 by that same time, $5 by that same time, you have not only like doubled your Ethereum bag that you could have had, you 10x your Ethereum bag that you could buy. So yeah, you go scrape a little bit off and you're like, here's the Ethereum.
You see it. I mean, what was the low for ETH recently?
I think it got down to like 700, right?
So 700 to 2,000, that is a 1.4x.
Yeah.
And HEX went from 1.7 to 12 point. That is a 7.5x in the same period, pretty much. So
yeah, the same exact time frame. Yeah, let me see. So Ethereum at one point in time, where are we at? 2020. Well, shit, 2020. Because no, that ain't it, right? Am I looking at the right thing right now? No, okay, yeah. So in the most recent time, it got down as low as $880. That was the low. And so you just look from there, and you're like, okay, cool. $880 to 8,000 is a 10x. Like you said, we basically saw a 7x in 90 days. So
been there, done that.
Yeah, and you're talking like Ethereum is going to be 8,000 by the next bull run, which is cool. But you're like, yeah, dude, HEX is going to way outperform that. And so from even
our relief rally.
Yeah, even 2 cents down to $2. That's 100x the money, guys. Again, that's 10x you can get on your Ethereum. So I don't like that play. But yeah, hopefully everyone understands that. People won't appreciate T-shirts until HEX hits $1. Dude, people are gonna lose their freaking minds. We aren't even gonna. I'm telling you, bro. We ain't talking T-shirts at that point in time. We ain't.
Nope.
We ain't. People like people are going to be like, oh my gosh, wow, less math for people to process. Can you imagine when we had to start breaking down T-shares and you have to be like, oh, you got a B share. So that means you get 0.3 of a T share. Oh, you have 300 B shares? Okay, so instead of getting 6 hex per day, you only get 2 hex per day, right? So they're like, why am I not getting 6 hex per day? Right? Oh shit, that's gonna be crazy. Jeez.
Oh yeah.
ATX, do you find that your marine training helps to be more disciplined with your crypto investing habits? Any tips? No, I mean the Marine Corps, man, what it made me do is it's, you know, they have Semper Fidelis, which is Marine Corps motto, stands for always faithful. That kind of always been a little bit thing in my head. So if I talk about something, if I'm in something, I'm typically in it for the long haul. And so that helped me in that regard to just have the mentality of that. But in terms of money and investing, it's different than Marine Corps training can teach you, because they don't teach you finances. So any tips would be take profits, guys. Like, don't be afraid to take profits. There's a way to take profits the right way. There's a way to take profits the wrong way and just wreck yourself. So learn a good profit taking strategy that makes sense for you and your style. Some people do it on a 10x. Some people wait until a 5x or a 10x or a 100x or whatever number it is. Some people wait till they have a certain figure. I'm not a fan of reaching a certain figure in the account, because if it never reaches there, you could have gotten so close. Like say some people like, I'm waiting until it hits $1 million, and then you get to $990,000. And then you never took profit, and then it goes down all the way to freaking $30,000 again from a 95% dip, and you're like, oh shit, I fucked up. So yeah, take profits, learn to take profits the right way, do a small bit, scrape off along the way, guys. It's called a scrape strategy, which is why staking is beneficial, because you can scrape off the yield that you earn and actually end up selling that. But now we got Hedron and ICOSA and that kind of stuff, so you have other derivatives. But yeah, profits would be the biggest tip that I would ever have for anyone. Learn to take profits the right way.
Yeah. And once you did in a proper cycle, and you have some proper money in the bank, you pretty much don't have to think about taking profit anymore, because you already have the money.
Yep.
So at that point, you only take the money out of crypto that you need at that point. So if you want to buy something, just take out that amount. And for you, your wealth is already so big, it doesn't really matter what the price is. I need it now. Take what you need.
Yep.
Don't be excessive about it. And then you can pretty much do whatever you want.
No, and I'm right there. Guys, like I've said this before. If y'all are paid, whatever your salary is, if you can just replace that salary and just have a nice, comfortable, like you can go a little bit above that salary even as well, to give yourself a little bit more comfort. But like, you should just be able to pay yourself a nice little decent salary one time and then just let everything else ride. So like, if you were a person who made 50,000 a year, well, maybe you take out 60,000 and just live a little bit more comfortable, and you can actually now live your life without having to worry about going and doing a 9-to-5 rat race job. Extracting $1 million to hold in your bank account is like the dumbest thing you can possibly do, just to hold $1 million in your bank account. So like, unless you already got hundreds of millions of dollars in crypto, then you're like, all right, cool, this is 1%. But if you can just pay yourself and you're like, hey, this is what my salary is, I can replace that salary and go live my life now. That's beautiful. Yep. Or not even that. Maybe you DCA all of your salary into crypto again. Like, who knows, right? Everyone has their own different strategy there. But I like living life, and I know I got one life to live. So like, I don't want to go report to someone and get mad that, you know, I showed up 5 minutes late to work. Like, that stuff is garbage in my mind. You know, and the thing, I was that fucking supervisor around back then who was doing that bullshit and had to be, oh, where the fuck are you at, guys? You fucking 5 minutes late. Traffic? Yeah, traffic again? Sure, buddy. Sure. You know what I mean? Like, you fucking slept in. Like, it was so frustrating, man. Like, I don't want that. That was stress in my life. I don't want that. So
yeah, the tram had a flat tire.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, a friend had a flat tire, ran out of gas, and had to get like all the stories you could possibly imagine, right? My house caught on fire, and I had to go rescue the neighbor's cat while saving my cat. Whatever fucking nonsense you had. But yo, that would be crazy. So yeah, guys, replace your salary with the one time, because again, if you start with $10,000 and you go make 100x that money, you turn that 10,000 into a nice little milli. You know what I mean? And you can say, wow, my salary is 70,000 a year. Well, guess what you do with that milli? You take out fucking 100K, maybe 10%. Okay, you don't cash it all out. Take out 10%. Then you can go live life. And then you're like, all right, cool. I got enough to pay for taxes when the time comes. Got enough to pay for my lifestyle when the time comes, and I can just go live freely at this point in time. That is beautiful. And then what happens with the rest of the 900,000? You let that sucker sit. You know, you take profits along. Like, there's a good way to do it, but yes, please. If
you want to be more safe, you could do 2.5 years or 2.5x your salary, because usually within crypto, within 2 years, or usually already sooner, but typically within 2 years, you're back at the same level as the previous all-time high. And then the new bull run starts. So if you give yourself enough money for 2.5 years, you don't have to worry about anything.
I love that. That right there. Gloria has a little funny comment at HOA. Isn't your wife into HEX? My husband doesn't even know I buy crypto. He will worry too much. But when I make millions, I will take him on a wonderful holiday. Here's my tip to every single one of y'all who are in a relationship with a spouse, with a partner, or anyone else who is not into the same crypto world as you do. Don't fucking say shit. Okay. Like, we'll make it very simple. They will not understand and just think you're fucking crazy. Okay. What you do is you take the profit and you say, here's the money that I was able to make on crypto, and you wait until that money hits into your bank account. And then they're like, I see, we have real world value of money. This is epic. But if you're like, I'm going to invest $100,000 and that's going to turn into $1 million, they're like, all right, cool. You're smoking some fucking crazy crack. and then they watch that 100,000 typically turn into fucking 50 and then 30. And then you got them worried. And then they're like, oh my gosh, what the fuck is going on? So like, just, and again, like a lot of y'all are going to be wanting to tell your spouse, I'm telling you, or your partner, you're going to be like, I invested 10,000 and it's 100,000 now. Don't say shit. Don't say shit. Like, yo, it's that simple. Wait until that money, you can convert it into fiat. And then when they see real world money, they're like, oh, cool.
Yep. I know.
But Gloria, I'm right there with you.
Just stop sharing when the price goes down. So you only share screenshots when the price goes up. And as soon as it goes down, just stop sharing. They will think it's still at that price.
Yeah, for sure. Native gas must be cheap to be usable. Yeah. Overpriced gas, dude. Yeah, it's Gloria. To go back on this, though, again, guys, like, y'all are gonna want to tell all your fucking spouses that y'all are gonna, like, this is gonna be more money than a lot of people have ever seen in their life, which is epic, and that's a beautiful thing. And congratulations to everyone who's been waiting this whole time. Love it. Please refrain from like fucking saying anything, because I swear, if you get them looking, then they start worrying. Okay, like that's how it happened for me, man. I ended up going and being like, look at how much money we have. And then they're like, oh, it went from 40 cents to 30 cents to 20 cents. And then it got down to 10. And I stopped saying shit. Because, you know, there was like, yeah, exactly. Like, oh, who needs to worry about it at this point? And then it goes back up to 12. I didn't say shit. I learned my lesson. You wait until that money is in the account, and then they're cool, right? It's so much nicer. So that's what I ended up doing. And it's much easier on your life and your soul, folks. HOA, tell her there's a 75-year-old girl who's into crypto. You could show her my comments. She has youth on her side. Check that out. What'd you say on this one, HOA? I missed it. Oh, right here. She knows but doesn't believe it. The waiting takes too long and explaining is too complicated, but I do it for her and the kids. I'm kind of older than her. There you go, HOA. Yeah, explaining to someone who just imagine explaining to your friends, folks, and then like you got your partner and your life partner in that one. Man, like they ain't ready. No. I grabbed some for 900 for stakes in the future. Yes, that's what I'm saying. A lot of people are like, I got some ETH for, the future. All right, cool. You could you could, like, that ETH that you bought. Let me do the math. I'll tell you exactly what could have happened if you had just bought HEX instead. So the Ethereum that you bought right now, back at the lowest point in time of $880, has only done 142% gain, which is a 2.5x, because it's at 2,000 now. And that was back from June. I'm just going to use the same math over here. So we got June of 2022. Okay, cool. So let's just pull for S's and G's and just say, what would have happened if you had just bought HEX instead? Like, yeah, you didn't get the exact low, but let's just see what happens. June of 2022, we have, boom, right here. HEX already went and did a 3x gain from there. So not too much difference from the same time frame. But again, like you bought the very low of Ethereum, and if you bought from the very low of HEX, then god dang, you're already up
Different
a nice
story.
little different story completely. Like from the very low of HEX, we're still sitting at a 4.5x your money at that point in time. Guys, don't be buying Ethereum. It's just not the way to go. Great way to slowly sell on a double and again on a double. I'm here to get stupid rich or bust. Won't catch me selling on a double.
You will never sell.
Yeah, that's what it's saying. People buy cigarettes, vape, weed, booze, Starbucks, food, pay for rent, car payments, tax, clothes. All of this could be put into HEX. Alan, you absolutely right, man. Fuck living, dude. We're about to get rich. Question about all the stakes that didn't end. Trying to read it. About all the stakes that it didn't end stake or good accounting, they bleed 1% per week, and that is given to the stakers. So very early stakes have ended to bleed 100% after 3 years. No thoughts? Yeah, I mean, easy explanation. So yeah, after 2 weeks, you have a 2-week window. There's a 2-week window after your stake ends to essentially claim or mint your stake, not claim, to mint it into existence. If you do not mint it, after that, every week that goes by, it will bleed 1% for 100 weeks, which is a little under 2 years. Okay. So by the 2-year mark, then you've essentially lost all the stake and principal and everything that you had in it. But before then, you got plenty of time to end it. So, and yeah, it does get repaid into the staker class. Hopefully, I don't know. Maybe you say something different.
50% of it, I believe.
Yeah. Yep, 50%. Yeah, there you go. So it's just a nice little way of kind of incentivizing people. But yeah, should you happen to forget, it doesn't just sit there in a wallet like Bitcoin does right now. So people have already passed away, lost their phrase, lost their words, all that good stuff. It's never going to get touched again. Well, that's not going to be the case with HEX. If you stake it, you have 100 weeks after that end stake before it bleeds out. Okay. Simple as that. But yeah, there's so many wallets in Bitcoin that haven't moved in years. So people could have passed away. Like I'm sure people would have taken the money out if they were still around, especially like Satoshi, for example.
I'm just glad I didn't go ham with the stakes. I just thought do one a year. While a lot of my friends did one every month, one every 2 weeks, and damn.
Yeah, I was on the one a year or one a month for a while because there was like the staker app made it so freaking easy, man. It really did. The staker app was like you could do you could do one multi-stake instance and just set it for 15 years, and it was like, all right, cool. Here's $5,000 spread out between 15 years. Do the math, and it just does it for you all in one go. And so, like before, I was like, yeah, you could do this thing, and it actually allows you to do it for 1 year. Well, now I got smart, and after the stakes are ending, now I'm like, fuck that, you accumulate, and then you know, like, that's what I ended up doing now.
Staker wasn't around when I did all my stakes, so
right. No, it wasn't around when I started either. And then whenever I found it, I was like, oh, this is so cool. And yeah, I was like, one transaction for multiple stakes, let's go. And yeah, so before I had the 1 year, and I thought that was epic. It was the way to do it. And then I was like, I'll fill them all in.
Yeah. Do I have a gap somewhere? Let me fill this gap. Let me fill this gap.
And then, like I said, I was like, oh, I'll just do this to where it's again every February it ends. Boom, 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 boom. It's like once a year, right? In that scenario. And then in March, I would do the same thing. I was like, damn it, dude. So yeah, that's just kind of. But now I'm like, all right, cool. We got it fixed now. It's all good. Well, I guess it's not fully fixed because I didn't end anything, but you know, it is what it is.
It did suck with the sacrifices, though.
Yeah, definitely.
Otherwise, I could have sacked way more, but
yeah, that was something that happened to because of my kids' birthdays and the way it worked and timed wise. It was so convenient. My daughter's birthday is in June. My son's birthday is in February. So I have the stakes end a couple of months before or a month before. And so literally like May, the stake ended. And then I was holding because I didn't restake it. I was like, all right, cool. Let's just see. And then it was sacrifice for PulseChain. I was like, convenient. And then like my son was February. I had one end in January, or no, the sacrifice was December, right? And so so I was like, I had it end right at the beginning of December. It was like this, the convenient timing of things just worked out too crazy.
Wait 3 days. I saw my ratio going down, waiting for my stake to get ended, and then as soon as it ended, quickly threw it in there. Golly.
Woo. Keep your HEX investment out your mouth. Yeah, exactly. Will Smith said it right there. A little backhand. Yeah, all the people who have spouses, don't mention about shit. Like, you're gonna see PulseChain go and do fucking mad numbers. Just don't say shit until you got that money in your account. Don't say shit. Fees back then were like 2 cents. Yeah, dude, crazy.
Yeah. T-shirts were double digits.
Screen sharing of price equally take profits. Got it. Yeah, exactly. Take profits. Like, simple as that, Bright Light. Take profits. Like, there's such an easy way, because like, you can't live on crypto if you don't take profits, folks. And like, I know all of y'all are wanting to, not all of y'all, some of y'all have already done it, but most people are wanting to replace the 9-to-5 rat race job. So if that's your main goal, you gotta take profits. Like, it's as simple as that. Otherwise, you literally had to stay working, and that's a life that, you know, I didn't want to live anymore, and a lot of people don't. So don't have to stake it, though. Most gains are from price appreciation. Facts. Exactly. HEX wallet is about to get gasless swapping, so not having ETH in your account won't be an impediment for scammers. Probably other wallets will copy that feature too. Nice. And there was something about it being open source, is what Randy was saying. So maybe Richard Hart looks at implementing. I haven't checked out HEX wallet. I haven't seen it.
You need the Oris token, I believe. It's pretty much. It looks a bit the same as the Nexo contract.
Oh, really?
Nexo did the same thing. It gave you yield.
Right.
And depending on the amount of Nexo that you had in your wallet, you could be bronze, silver, or gold and get different yield and those kind of.
Yeah. And that Alan Fizme says, I just want to get rich enough to start my whale cheese business and whelk milk business. Sell it to rich Mexicans. Hello, Alan, you stupid dude. Yeah, guys, don't get diluted on this as well. You're only gonna get 1 PLS for every 1 Ethereum. That is a terrible dilution ratio to anyone who doesn't know.
1.2 million X. God.
Yeah, like, that is bad. Like, I like right now, I don't hold a lot of Ethereum for that one exact purpose. I don't hold a lot of stable coins for that exact purpose. Like, I have limit orders in place, and I'm like, yeah, if the price hits, it hits. And I'm willing to have that not copied over because it's already something I've accepted, because I'm like, I want to scoop up the price when the time comes. But for the people who are cashing out right now, man, messing up and converting it into Ethereum, you're going to get straight diluted. Oh, my God.
Yeah. Weren't you the one that did the calculation about the people that did the SEC now?
Yep.
And were actually diluted like 10,000 times if they just waited and buy on day one.
Yep. Yeah, I have a whole spreadsheet that, like, it's fucking shits and giggles. Let me actually see sacrifice. Let me see if I can even find that, because I was such a dude. People are still sacrificing, and I was like, what in the flying fuck? Like, people are still like, I don't know if it still is to this day that way, and I'm sure it is to some degree. But I was like, people are still sacrificing. Like, they're fucking stupid. Like, that is not a good way. Well. Big amounts, yeah, $7,000 in some cases, 8,000. I'm like, if you just fucking waited, folks, like, you got wrecked if you don't. Yeah, and I have it here, right here. Let me see if I can even do the same thing. This is the little spreadsheet that you were talking about. But yeah, this is it right here. So essentially, and I don't know how many people are sacrificing right now. Let me kind of zoom out just a smidge. Boom. So this was what it was back in the day when sacrifice first happened. You got 5% every single day, and that number has continued to go up every day, folks. So essentially, I just had this done to where it's like, all right, cool. What happens on today's day? And where are we at? It's fucking April 14th. So April 14th, they get, this is a terrible, this is so bad. They get, I can't even say the points. This many zeros, 3-6, like that is not good. So then you type it in here and you're like, all right, cool. Paste it here. Guys, if you invested $2 million right now, if whoever sacrificed like two, like, let's just say 7,000. Cause again, like, it doesn't even matter. 2 million. It doesn't, like, these numbers are stupid. So the $2 million you had to sacrifice would only get you 0.0007 pulse. Get wrecked. Like get
wrecked.
Get wrecked. That is so bad.
If you need 2 million, I will send you the 1.
I know that's like right. Give me the 2. I got you, fam.
I got you, man.
I got you. I'm feeling generous. I'll give you 2 pulls. You know? Yo, like get wrecked, and like people are still sacrificing. So I saw that the other day. Where I don't know if people are still doing it, but that's a terrible ratio. So that's kind of the same ratio I see with Ethereum right now. If you hold Ethereum, you're going to be in the same scenario. Get wrecked. Yeah, you're right there.
We're going on for 2 hours. Golly.
I know. If any of y'all want to ever hop in, God, I got to wrap up here soon. That's not a lie. I got to wrap up. I got to go take care of the pups. You know what I mean? But much love to all the people who are all here. Let me see. We got Gloria saying I sold most of my gold jewelry. Yeah, I sold most of my gold jewelry and bought HEX. I wasn't wearing it anyways. I bought 100,000 with the proceeds at 0.1 or 1.9 cents. Let's go.
Freaking
Let's
epic.
go, Gloria. That's beautiful.
Congrats.
Gold is technically down in 40 years. It was $600 an ounce in 1980. You could afford much more stuff with it than $2,000 worth of gold now. Yeah, can you it's like XRP. I see gold like XRP. that shit ain't hit an all-time high in 7 years. Like it's already gone through 2 cycles now, and it's like people are like, I still believe. I'm like, all right, cool, man, have fun. I'm gonna go get some gains.
Silver penny is what 100 times more worth in silver than the penny itself. Well, what was it again? That's inflation for you.
That is bro. And then if you actually factor in inflation, oh my god, yeah, XRP is sitting at 52 cents. My gosh, dude, I feel so bad for him because look, back in the day, it only hit a high of $3, man. Like that. That is nothing, and that was back in 2018, 5 years ago, folks. So like, if you look at the math. This shit is the same price as it was back in freaking 2017. That ain't good. That is not good. 6 years later, you still sitting. That's a stable coin right there, folks. Gloria's going to win. Yeah, facts on facts. I'll give you 10 pulls for 1 Ethereum.
Exactly.
Yo, can you imagine straight up, dude? I got you, fam. I got you. Plebs will be plebs. Logic 33 sold. Yeah, 2 million pulls. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. People are gonna get freaking wrecked. I'm taking your advice. I will turn my Ethereum into a stable coin. However, I'm in profit on my Ethereum now, so it was a good move. Yeah, don't hold stable coins either, Gloria. Because you got to understand, like, the play is to maximize as much as you can for the PulseChain snapshot. So Ethereum's going to get diluted and stablecoins are going to be worthless. Right? So, like, if you're trying to maximize, just convert it into any other ERC20 token. Link, Shiba, freaking, whatever ERC20 token of your choice. Hedron, HEX. Like, I'm not a fan of going into our ecosystem because it's going to see a dump. So if the idea is for it to get copied, you can then convert it back. So say you convert it into Link, for example. You convert it into Link. You have fun. Bam. You hold that Link, and you're probably going to do pretty good in that scenario because it's not going to dump. So when snapshot happens, bam, you get it copied. You know what I mean? And then you convert it back into Ethereum. Boom, you win. Yeah. However, people aren't going to do that. People are in the situation where they're going to hold their Ethereum and convert it into HEX. And then what's going to happen? HEX is going to dump. So then you got to be ready to hold or convert it back at a loss, which I don't like. So it depends on how you want to do it. But yeah, stable coins are not the way to go.
But do you think of stable coins in general, do you think it's a good or a bad thing for crypto?
The idea of it is good. How it's played out is bad. Because no one's really built a good stablecoin at this point in time. Like, all stablecoins have depegged from $1.
Yeah,
I think I've tried finding like a decent stablecoin that holds $1 value, and I even like you get like TUSD or LUSD or USDL or whatever. All these other ones. Yeah. I've looked at so many other stablecoins, and they've all depegged. Now, granted, it may only be for a short period of time, but if the idea of it is to be stable. Yeah, I'm okay with it fluctuating between $1 and a penny and then 99 cents. Like that range, cool. Trading's going to happen. Arbitrage opportunity is going to be there. Cool. But whenever you start seeing it go above $1 and then, you know, freaking below $1, 98 cents, 95 cents, that's not cool. No. So the idea of it is cool. I like it because you can use it for opportunities like limit orders and that kind of stuff. Because like right now, I mean, heck, dude, if you had, you know, bought HEX back in the day and then converted it into a stable coin, you'd probably be in a pretty good position.
Correct.
Because that's just the way the market took a dump. HEX went down, and you didn't have to, you know, experience that 95% volatility that we just went through. But a lot of people don't have that mentality of being able to hold, and they're going to go back and they're going to convert it and move it to something else. So the idea of it, cool. Yeah. How it's been executed, not a fan.
I think it's a bad thing for crypto.
I would agree. I have to, like, again, I'm with you on that one too. I got to say, I'm with you on that one.
This way, we're trying to mimic traditional finance. So even though we like to say, yeah, but the economic value is still in crypto. Well, in my opinion, crypto or stables is not a crypto. So
right.
You said about you will endure less volatility because we have a stable. But if we didn't have a stable, we probably had less volatility, because if you now have to transform it into fiat, it's a taxable event.
Right.
So should we see less volatility in crypto if it's just crypto?
Yeah, I mean, that's that just brings me back to like PulseChain, man. I just want HEX to be HEX again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like PulseChain fucked up HEX in my personal opinion. Like I
love
PulseChain, love what it's going to bring to our ecosystem, love that it's being built, love that it's going to be available for all crypto people. But the like, dude, HEX got fucking wrecked because of PulseChain, and that hurts my soul, because like that was the true crypto. Like you look at a completed product, it's fully completed, it's 100% immutable, it's flawless, it's worked 100% time. Like everything you want in crypto, that's what you're looking for. And then PulseChain came around and everyone's like, ooh, traders got entered into the ecosystem. Like fucking the price is now only affected by the news and announcement of PulseChain. I don't like that. I just want it to come back and just like be HEX again. So I think that's kind of the same thing with stablecoins, where people thought this would be a better system, and it just kind of fucked up the entire flow of how crypto actually works, because people would normally move that money into a coin and that coin would appreciate or depreciate over time. But now they've taken that flow out. And so like you look at the whales addresses, they're sitting on $300 million in stable coins. And you're like, that could be in a crypto right now. And that crypto could be way higher. And you know what I mean? Or it could be liquidity for other people. Like, so I'm with you. The stable coins messed that whole thing up too. Because yeah, whenever I look at the wallet addresses for people, I'm like, what are you doing holding $250 million in a fucking stable coin? Like, why? Yeah. Why? Like, to hold the value, right? I guess. But like, fuck, man, put that bitch into crypto and like get a 2x. Like, you don't have you don't have to do much. You just get a fucking 2x. So yeah, I'm with you right there. I need to have more kids to make more stakes for them.
Legend. Adopt. I'm thinking about it, to be honest.
Shit. That'd be dope, man. That'd be fucking epic. A lot of kids need it, man. It's one of those things. Exactly. A lot of kids definitely need it. Make stakes for future children, right? But I like practicing. Oh shit. Yeah, I did it for my daughter, Gloria. No more kids for me. They keep meeting resistance. Yeah, I got the 2 kids and I was like, cut me off, man. You know what I mean? Like, you don't got to worry about it at that point in time, and let's keep it simple. If something ever changes in my life in the future, it's always reversible, we'll say. But like, I ain't messing with that, man. My girlfriend is trying to adopt a little girl. It makes me feel younger. Check it out, dude. That'd be epic. That'd be epic, man. Alan Fisman, yeah, dude, he's fucking hilarious. I love Alan. I think they find out something better, and I still keep doing it. Yeah, you always find something better. Man, yeah, I just want PulseChain to launch so that way HEX can go back to just being its own thing, man. That's all. Like, once we give it HEX, like, that's why I think it reaches $1, because right now the fucking price is being suppressed. Why? Because the goddamn whales are waiting for the launch of PulseChain because they want to take it full advantage, and that's cool. Like, I get it, that's cool. But you've also got all the traders and everyone else involved right now. I'm like, wash them all out, man. Just get rid of all those. You're going to have some traders, and I get that. Like, traders are natural. But the amount we have now, because I go through wallets all the time on my streams, and I look at them, and I'm like, you haven't staked. You aren't doing anything. You're like, what? You're just in this ecosystem for either the launch of PulseChain or you're in it for trading. And there's so many people who are in here because of that. Or they have multiple wallets. I don't do like this deep dive analysis where, you know, I try diving in to figure out if they've ever staked anything at one point in time. I just pull it up on, stakehex.today, for example, and just see if they have a stake. But yeah, I mean, guys, this has been an absolute banger of a show. Facing Reality, thank you so much for joining in the AMA. I know this was a fun session. It looked like it was more of a conversation now with Facing Reality. So guys, go follow Facing Reality for all of his channels as well. Let me actually see real fast. Go ahead and do a quick plug as well, if you don't mind, on that Facing Reality for all of your socials.
Facing Reality on YouTube, even though I don't use it, and primarily Twitter. And if I can plug something, it would be Texan Token.
Check it out, dude. Guys, look at that. And Texan Token is doing glorious things lately. Love seeing it. I love seeing it.
Great founders, great community. And I think we learned a big lesson from Richard Hart. Follow the founders and community. So.
Facts. Listen to that right there, guys. It's been an absolute banger of a show. I look forward to doing this. I'm going to try to actually make this more of a Friday appearance, so that way AMAs, open mics, all that good stuff will be on Fridays. And then Sundays, there's going to be a lot of fun hanging out. But guys, thank you so much. You can follow me on Twitter at ATXCrypt. You can find the name right there. Pretty simple. And then you can, of course, follow me on YouTube by liking, subscribing, clicking that bell notification, because I do stream daily. So I look forward to chatting with y'all all here in the near future. Take care. Peace.